I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I call the shots in the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'ma dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Savage, you've been distracted, your best my average, there's a reason for that's a fact. So they snapping back, mad at the fact that I don't have a backup plan, I ain't need that. Outworking everybody when I relax, so I ain't tripping about none of y'all feedback. Heard that, wonder when I'm gonna peak at. And that's why you count your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Shots in the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'ma dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now.
Look at me that way. It broke my heart to see. It was a moment of darkness, a moment in time that I regret for being so heartless. It was a moment of darkness. Look at me that way. It broke my heart to see. It's too hard, it don't come easy. I went dark, I lost it right away. And when it starts, God knows what I'll say. In my head, I had good reason. I went red so unexpectedly. I should have said that sometimes happens to me. It was a moment
manifest your destiny. Slay your enemy, raise a legacy. No more apologies, trust your abilities. Gather the energies. Pull yourself back together. Been staying off track forever. Child of the nation, go seek redemption. Time for salvation. Today is meant to be day of victory. Time for history. Reverse the tendency, fight the entropy. Channel your rivalry. You're praying for fortune to come. You're hearing the sound of the drums. It's too late to backtrack, go back, you're back now. Keep your feet on the road and stand up. You've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, out, out. Stand up, up. You've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up. You've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Go save your team, be a hero. Take home the cup, be a star. They're waiting for you, take aim, shoot your arrow. It's your time to shine, show them who you are. Stronger, gotta go faster, gotta get better, gotta work harder. It's fight or flight now, get up now. Go with the move, go for the goal, lead up the stadium, you know how it's done. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, out, out. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. call my bluff for the last time. This ain't a song, it's a battle cry. No life. I see the clue between the strobe lights. I'm haunted, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, used to want it bad, used to want it bad, but I can't taste it, I can't help you now, okay, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, get push, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, get push. Got too much up on my plate, now I can't think. I said woke up to get X and now I'm feeling this is it. Want the money, want the rest. I do purse, not no cess. They say Donish, why you sad? I said I just need to think. Red tape, got too close, I hit the city. Black face, show you everything you need to your phone. Can't hit it bad. Someone said it's sad. I used to want it bad. I know it's in my head, keep seeing you too many times, yeah. I know it's in my head, keep seeing you. I know it's in my head. Follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, got too much up on my, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, got too much up on my, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, got too much up on my, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, got too much up on my, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, got too much up on my, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, got too much up on my.
I was dancing on my own when you spilled that ramen coke on my t-shirt. Yeah, your eyes made it difficult to get my baby. And the next thing I knew, we were so ready to give in, skin to skin on that baseline. Ooh, you give me that high-pitched feel, baby. We shared a cigarette by East Versailles. The way you looked at me, couldn't say goodbye. And whatever you did to make it stop, 'cause baby, you make me feel something. And the next thing I knew, we were so ready to give in, skin to skin on that baseline. Ooh,
and I'll take it. Yeah, reminding myself to just let go. Don't wonder how far I can fall. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out.
I've been working part-time jobs, chasing all my dreams now lately. No matter if I try too hard, nothing's ever enough, baby. No, I don't care too much, I don't care too much. As long as I can keep you by my side, I don't care too much. We got time, no rush. In your eyes I always see there is something meant for me. In your eyes I always feel different. skies, dreaming big and aiming high. Name the clouds passing by, wishing we run away. All we need is our passports, baby. Leave the rest in our troubled minds. Let us go down in laughter, baby. Trying to figure out what we're after. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after. Baby, leave it all for the faded hearts. I don't mind if they call us crazy, 'cause they don't understand what we're after. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after. You're mine, I wanna run away. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after.
Oh, I see the signs and I see we're there, and I feel the lies and I feel the sand. Forever hold, no matter if we're cast away, a fire in the dark. I know that you won't be where you will again. I know that
Intel Extreme Masters is brought to you in part by Intel, Acer Predator, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, DHL, and GGBet.
Hello everyone and welcome back for another day of IEM Beijing qualifiers, and the final one of course for this closed qualifier. But unfortunately we are coming on at the moment to give you a little bit of bad news. We have to inform you that there is unfortunately going to be some delay just because at the moment the CS servers are having some issues and some of the players are having trouble, I believe, connecting. I know Mike is having trouble connecting. I got lucky and somehow managed to get in after just leaving my game open for like 25 minutes, but that doesn't seem to be working for everyone. I believe our observer as well is having trouble with getting through. So yeah, the game itself is definitely going to be delayed a small bit, but we can still take this time to go ahead and have a little bit of a discussion, get some chat in about how we think this game might go down. And of course, as we mentioned, this is the final matchup now for the qualifier. The winner of this moves on to IEM Beijing, and becomes the final team from this European region to do so. We obviously seen Spirit move on a couple days back, so one of these teams gets to join them. And who do you think, Mike? What are we aiming towards in this one? Having a look at the veto and all. Obviously, it's public knowledge already, so we can go straight into that discussion.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. We'll talk about the veto here. It's exactly the same veto as the last time these two teams squared up. And in that encounter, North came away with a 2-1, but every game was pretty competitive. We're going to be starting out on Train, actually, coming to it with Train, which is a map that last time these two teams encountered each other, it was North that took it away, but it wasn't that easy. It wasn't that easy or one-sided. I think it was 16-10, the final scoreline. And the thing is, North have dropped this map a couple times in this tournament, actually, which is, it's a little surprising to see them come back to it. They lost to Illuminar on it. Meanwhile, if you're Sprout coming in, yes, you lost to North previously, but maybe you can draw some conclusions from what you've seen from them so far. Obviously, they weren't competing yesterday because they had been knocked down to the consolidation final earlier by making it through the upper bracket. North had to battle their way through. So I'd imagine they watched some of those games that we saw, maybe got a little bit of information on how North are currently playing that map and can maybe draw some things away from it, see if anything changed up since the last encounter. But that one's going to be a really interesting map. I am curious to see what we're going to get from North there. I think it is a must-win because then we head to Dust 2, and I'm going to be honest, both as a factor of the last time these teams met up, it was 16-9 on Dust 2, on how good Sprout are on Dust 2 typically, and also how weak North have looked on Dust 2 throughout this tournament. I think that one's guaranteed for Sprout. I really will be shocked if North make a run of it on Dust 2. Then we get to our decider. It's going to be Vertigo. I'm fascinated.
Yeah, I feel like if we get the Vertigo anyway, that would definitely be the closest of the three maps, and I've got to agree with you. Coming into that first map, it is definitely a must-win for North on Train. As you said, the most notable kind of loss for North being there just yesterday to Illuminar when they ended up losing that matchup. We were kind of surprised when North came through with this pick, but it does also make sense, as you said, with that victory not too long ago. But Sprout have looked alright. As you said, they've had some losses, but they've had decent wins as well. They beat K23 most recently here in the IEM Beijing qualifier with a pretty decent scoreline of 16-13. So yeah, I that one I think is going to be a little bit shaky. I don't think it's as guaranteed for North as they would hope for it to be, especially as you said with Dust 2 just being so fantastic for Sprout that is looking like it should be their map really no matter what. So yeah, I'm thinking that if we are going to have a competitive series here, it's going to have to be the three maps. It'll be North taking Train, and then we'll see Sprout come back with D2. I think probably even relatively convincingly, and then Vertigo, I have no idea. I really feel like that could go either way.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We were speculating before we went live with this and before we got the veto actually, that there could have been an offensive pick coming in from North, taking it to Inferno. Now, Inferno is not a phenomenal map for North, but it's solid. And the thing is, Sprout have dropped it twice in this qualifier. Two teams that you would normally expect to be competitive against. They lost it to Spirit. That's fine. Spirit's very good. They're already through. They also lost it to K23. And it's the manner in which they lost those maps that's a little bit concerning. They lost it 16-4 and 16-5. So we thought we might see North come in with the punish pick. That didn't happen. They went for the more comfortable map for themselves and the map where they most recently beat Sprout on. So I'm just curious to see if that trend's going to continue. I do definitely favor Sprout in this series. I think you just have to, based on recent results, based on the form that we've seen from these two teams in the tournament. It's been very up or down for North. We've seen good North, we've seen bad North. They're reliant on a few players showing up, but they have strengthened down the line. And knowing that they've taken a series over this team recently, only on I think it was the 17th or so a couple of weeks ago, it's very possible that North can surprise us here and make it all the way through.
Yeah, I've got to agree. Again, guys, though, at the moment we are waiting for the CS servers to come back up, so we don't know exactly when the game is going to be going live. Our main focus here was to come back on and let you guys know that we are going to have that delay. Obviously, before the game itself is going live, we'll be hopping back in. We'll be having another quick discussion. We'll probably just round up most of what we've said at the moment to make sure, of course, everyone who's newly joined in on the stream will be aware of what's up. But yeah, as I said, guys, at the moment the CS servers are down. We're trying to get all the players into the server. Hopefully, we'll be able to do so pretty quickly. But until then, we're going to have to send it back over to the break. So make sure you stick with us, and hopefully we can get some CS going pretty soon.
With the right CPU, you can turn any game from familiar to phenomenal. Unleash the potential in all your gaming with Intel 10th Gen processors. With its optimal balance of threads, cores, and frequency to deliver elite real-world performance, only Intel can bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game PC optimizations. Supercharge your Marvel's Avengers experience with Intel Core i5, i7, and i9 processors.
I've come to make a name, ready for battle. Cause I got a thing to claim. Think that I'll crumble. I'll show you your mistake. Where you see me coming, better run for cover. Cause I'm not slowing down, I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. So meet the monster, I came to conquer. When all the smoke clears, I'll still be on my feet. Forget all of my fears, cause I know my destiny. I feel a champion waking inside of me. It's set in motion, the legend's spoken. This is my moment. Can't break my focus, know where I'm going. This is my moment. Where you see me coming, better run for cover. Cause I'm not slowing down, I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. So meet the monster, I came to conquer. When you see me coming, better run for cover. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. They're looking at us, an audience. Keep telling us what we can do, but here we are, showing them, making them wish they were you. We've heard the most when it comes to this. Yeah, every shade of blue, but don't even care what they all say. They think we're out of control. Yeah, truth be told, we know it. It's just the way we live. We own it. Cause that we love the thrill. We know it. It's just the way we live. We're grown up kids.
I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I call the shots on the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'ma dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Savage, you've been distracted, your best my average, there's a reason for that's a fact. So they snapping back, mad at the fact that I don't have a backup plan, I ain't need that. Outworking everybody when I relax, so I ain't tripping about none of y'all feedback. Heard that, wonder when I'm gonna peak at. And that's why you count your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Shots on the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'ma dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now.
Look at me that way. It broke my heart to see. It was a moment of darkness, a moment in time that I regret for being so heartless. It was a moment of darkness. Look at me that way. It broke my heart to see. It's too hard, it don't come easy. I went dark, I lost it right away. And when it starts, God knows what I'll say. In my head, I had good reason. I went red so unexpectedly. I should have said that sometimes happens to me. Of darkness. Moment of
destiny. Slay your enemy, raise a legacy. No more apologies, trust your abilities, gather the energies. Pull yourself back together, been staying off track forever. Child of the nation, will seek redemption, time for salvation. Today is meant to be day of victory, time for history. Reverse the tendency, fight the entropy, channel your rivalry. You're praying for fortune to come, you're hearing the sound of the drums. It's too late to backtrack, go back, you're back now. Keep your feet on the road and stand up. You've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, out, out. Stand up, up. You've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up. You've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Go save your team, be a hero. Take home the cup, be a star. They waiting for you, take aim, shoot your arrow. It's your time to shine, show them who you are. Stronger, gotta go faster, gotta get better, gotta work harder. It's fight or flight now, get up now. Go with the move, go for the goal, lead up the stadium, you know how it's done. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up. You've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, out, out. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 . 。 。 。 。 . 。 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 . 。 。 . 。
call my bluff for the last time. This ain't a song, it's a battle cry. No life. I see the clue between the strobe lights. I'm haunted, black face. Hey, follow me around, okay? Black face. Hey, follow me around, okay? Used to want it bad, used to want it bad, but I can't taste it. I can't help you now, okay? Follow me around, okay? Black face. Hey, follow me around, okay? Follow me around, okay? Black face. Hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my plate, now I can't think. I said woke up, take a X, and now I'm feeling this is it. Want the money, want the rest. I do purse, not no cess. They say, Don, it's why you sad. I said, I just need the thing. Red tape, got too close, I hate the city. Black face, show you everything you need till you fornicate it bad. Someone said it is sad. I used to want it bad. I know it's in my head, keep seeing you too many times. Yeah. I know it's in my head, keep seeing you. I know it's in my head. Follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my
I was dancing on my own when you spilled that rum and coke on my t-shirt. Yeah, your eyes made it difficult to get my baby. And the next thing I knew, we were so ready to give in, skin to skin on that baseline. Ooh, you give me that high pitch feel, baby. shared a cigarette by East Versailles. The way you looked at me, couldn't say goodbye. And whatever you did to make it stop, 'cause baby, you make me feel something.
Show me an opening in the clouds, and I'll take it. Yeah, reminding myself to just let go. Don't wonder how far I can fall. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out. Oh, 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 oh. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out.
been working part-time jobs, chasing all my dreams now lately. No matter if I try too hard, nothing's ever enough, baby. No, I don't care too much. I don't care too much. As long as I can keep you by my side, I don't care too much. We got time, no rush. In your eyes, I always see there is something meant for me. In your eyes, I always feel different. Tell me everything's alright. Life is just a bunch of faces, and if it's not, we'll still be fine. I know we're going places. I don't care too much. I don't care too much. As long as I can keep you by my side, I don't care too much. We got time, no rush. In your eyes, I always see there is something meant for me. In your eyes, I always feel different. In your eyes, I always see there is something meant for me. In your eyes, I always feel different. Under peach yellow skies, dreaming big and aiming high. Name the clouds passing by, wishing we run away. All we need is our passports, baby. Leave the rest in our troubled minds. Let us go down in laughter, baby. Trying to figure out what we're after. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after. Book a plane, fly away. We will never be the same. And as long as you are mine, come on and run away. We wanna run away. We don't need any reasons, baby. Leave it all for the faded hearts. I don't mind if they call us crazy, 'cause they don't understand what we're after. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after. We're no kids no more. I need to feel alive in this dreadful town. I'm running out of time, and as long as you're mine, I wanna run on searching, but we will never know what we're after. Oh, I see the signs and I see we're there, and I feel the lies and I feel the sand. Forever who we are, no matter if we're cast away, a fire in the dark. I know that you won't be where we'll awake again. Right from the start, I see the end. A world torn apart, but I know we're meant. Forever who we are, no matter if we're cast away, a fire in the dark. I know that you won't be where we'll awake again. Sitting on a bench, waiting for the time to pass, dreaming of what happens next. I see what I wanna be, questioning my destiny, only knowing what I see. I don't even realize I've already made a path, and I can change it anytime. I can't take it back. I know what I want.
Intel Extreme Masters is brought to you in part by Intel, Acer Predator, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, DHL, and GGBet.
Hello everyone and welcome back. Apologies, of course, we did have quite a bit of a delay with the CSGO servers being down, but it looks like we are just about to hop on into the game. So yeah, we're going to be able to get going with the action finally. It's going to be Train, Dust 2, and then Virgo as the decider. So I'm excited. We already had talked about the veto. We'll have to round it up again once we actually hop into the action because we don't have a lot of time to chat right now.
Yeah, let's get straight into it. I'm excited to see what we've got going on. It's going to be a little bit challenging for me. I apologize, folks, if I
Hmm.
have a little bit of information recognition issues. I don't have the ability to get into CSGO network right now. It's still down for me. Fortunately, we've gotten all of our players in and Dean's in, our observers in. So everyone who really matters is in. And I'm just going to be
You matter
watching
too, Mike.
Dean's relay of it.
Yeah, with no sound, so it might be a little bit awkward. My PC is just about chugging along, I guess, to stick with the train references. But
Yeah.
yeah, my
You'll
CS
just
is
have to
it's staying
point
above
out
60 FPS anyway. We're hovering about 100, so it won't affect the stream anyway. I can just see it because I've got the 240 hertz monitor, so I'm like, oh, this is so choppy.
Mhm. You'll just have to point out any audio cues to me that I critically
True,
miss.
true.
That's
Mike
what's
could be
gonna
like, why
matter.
would they do that? I'm like, bro, he was stepping.
This is a really interesting matchup. We talked about it a little bit in the pregame when we were
Hmm.
talking about the veto, but the last time these two teams met, they played these exact three maps, and North took it 2-1. They've beaten them in this series before. Now, Dust 2 is likely a lost cause for North, and I think they're probably coming into this veto assuming it. They have a perma, so they had to allow Dust 2 through. It hasn't been a good map for them lately. They've been dropping it to all sorts of teams, and the last time they met, it was a 16-9 for Sprout. So North are going to put that map out of their minds. They'll give it the best try, but they're not really going to worry too much about that in the series. It's about Train, and it's about Vertigo for North. And Sprout, they're a good train team, but they've been up or down. They've had mixed results on this map of late. And obviously, the last time they met, North got the better of them to a tune of 16-10, 16-11, something along those lines. So not particularly dominant, but also not, a squeaker, a nail biter. Um, I am curious to see how things are going to start out here. Whether North are just going to stick to the same game plan they ran last time. Whether Sprout might have seen some things, particularly in that Illuminar loss that North took, that are exploitable about
Yeah.
North's train side, or whether it was just an off moment for North.
Yeah, they definitely looked a little bit shaky on that train versus Illuminar. And I think we mentioned that in their matchup yesterday that we thought Endpoint might even pull out Train somewhere in that veto just because of the fact that they had looked fairly shaky against Illuminar on it. But no, instead it ends up coming out in this one, and it is the choice of North. As you said, it does make sense with the fact that they beat them on it the last time that these two teams played, but Sprout have had some decent results since then themselves, and North overall have looked shaky. Although their
Yeah.
nuke when they've been on nuke, they've looked pretty incredible. There, obviously, that doesn't come out in this series, and that makes complete sense because yeah, Sprout is just a ridiculously strong nuke team, so you definitely don't want to be having that in the pool. North, I believe, banded out on their second go around, and of course, we
Yeah.
ended up with Vertigo then as the decider, which is still a really good map for Sprout. It's up there within their top three in terms of statistics, but it is also really good for North. So I feel like if we manage to get to that third map as the decider, that's where we'll have probably the most competitive and most exciting matchup. But I also think Train here can be a really close one. Dust 2, I've got to really lean with Sprout on that one. So if we do
Yeah.
end up seeing North get toppled here on Train, then I think it could be boding well for Sprout to take a 2-0.
What is fun about this veto is that it's unlike most vetoes where you're just going to see teams trade the maps, right? And if an upset comes in, we're going to be very surprised. Dust 2, we're expecting to be firmly for Sprout. That would be a shocker if North took it. But Train, to be quite frank, I think it's going to be a brawl all the way through. I think that North are favored here, but I don't think it's particularly dramatic. And as we've talked about before, one of the big assets for the Sprout team is just how absurd their map pool is. There are no glaring weaknesses. They're comfortable to play anything and everything. So if you're coming into the server against them, there's no easy silver bullet, right? That you can take them down with. Any map is going to be a
Hmm.
slog, and any of your weaknesses are potentially exploitable as well. It makes them a very tough team to plan for, and it means that at the end of the day, you're probably going to be meeting them on neutral ground, even in your own map picks. And that's what we've seen here, both with the train pick and with the Vertigo decider. It's a very comfortable terrain for Sprout. If we get to Vertigo, and I really do hope we get to Vertigo, I think we're going to see extreme fireworks from both sides. But it's North that I think will be the determining factor here. I want to see those stars step up early and often. I'm looking at AZ. I'm looking at Gade. We've had a couple maps where we've had an MSL or a Cajun B step up and go above and beyond. Electro is typically a site anchor for them. He's been good at the job. Not
Hmm.
exemplary in most maps, but very, very, very good. But I want those two stars. I want AZ and Gage shining early because, as we've seen so far in this close qualifier, when both of those players are on point, this is a very tough team to stop.
Yeah, and going back to what you said about it, trying to get towards the weaker maps for Sprout, one of their weaker maps is Inferno, and yeah, that's not all that great for Nord. It was actually Sprout who ended up getting rid of Inferno, but that was only really because it was the choice between that or Vertigo, and Sprout themselves were like, cool, we could get that map, and we could probably have a bit of we would probably have a bit more of an advantage maybe in terms of stats, but Vertigo is just a much better map for them, so they were like, cool, we'll bring that one out. Hopefully it won't be too much longer. We don't really have much of an ETA about what's up at the
we don't have
moment.
any ETA, unfortunately. Apparently we need some sort of an approval to go through with this. I think they've had to fudge some things on the server and change some stuff up to make sure that they can actually get it running, considering there are still issues with the Valve network.
You're not
But
back
they've
in,
managed
no.
to get the server going, but that could potentially create some issues that I think they're just trying to resolve right now, just to make sure that everything's going to run smoothly, that we're not going to have any issues into this game. It's always challenging, when the servers go down, when the network goes down. It's like, okay, how do we circumvent this? How do we find a patchwork bubble gum, run some wires, run some cables, stick things together? The admins do a terrific job of making sure that matches go smoothly, responding to issues quickly, and just getting everything on point. But I mean, look, everyone knows, every CS fan, every CS player knows this is a quirky game when it comes to the code, when it comes to the network sometimes. And one thing breaks, everything goes haywire, it seems.
Yeah, and you have a source to back up that statement.
This is my source, the fact that I can't get into the game right now.
No, your source is the fact that it's on the source engine.
I didn't even put that together. You got me.
It was a pretty terrible joke, to be fair. Yeah, we're not having a lot of luck. I don't know. If we don't get an update pretty soon about going back into this, I think we'll probably just have to throw it back over to a break for a few. It's unfortunate, but I mean, this happens sometimes, and hopefully Valve will be able to get them fixed up soon, so at least Mike can get back in, so he won't have to cast through a 720p 30 FPS feed with no audio from my Discord.
It's fine right now because it's all static. The problem is when there's a lot of motion, and I really suspect if there's Molotovs and gunshots, it just goes mosaic, and it's very hard to see what's happening. So I am in complete fear of seeing a B-side execute here on Train, because if you have the mollies, you've got the smokes, you have the quick clock play coming through. I think this feed's going to get very difficult for me to interpret. It's going to be like trying to watch, scrambled channels on cable back in the day. There's just going to be a bit of here, a bit there, and just a lot of static coming through.
Yeah, I don't know. I got really lucky. I had my game open for quite a while because we had the stream up anyway, and eventually mine just connected out of nowhere. But yeah, you haven't had the same success. It's quite unfortunate. And yeah, guys, we still don't have any information about when we're actually going to be getting back into this game. So I think with that, we best go ahead and throw it over to a little bit of a break. As soon as, of course, we come back, hopefully then we will actually have the game going live. We'll make sure as soon as we're coming back up on your screen, it will be when that pistol round is actually kicked off. So stick with us, guys. We'll be back as soon as possible.
Shadows, I've come to make a name. Ready for battle, 'cause I got a thing to claim. Think that I'll crumble, I'll show you a mistake. Where you see me coming, better run for cover, 'cause I'm not slowing down, I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. So meet the monster I came to conquer. When all the smoke clears, I'll still be on my feet. Forget all of my fears, 'cause I know my destiny. I feel a champion waking inside of me. It's set in motion, the legend's spoken. This is my moment. Can't break my focus, know where I'm going. This is my moment. Where you see me coming, better run for cover, 'cause I'm not slowing down, I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. stronger. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger.
They're looking at us, an audience. Keep telling us what we can do, but here we are, showing them, making them wish they were you. We've heard the most when it comes to this. Yeah, every shade of blue, but don't even care what they'll say. They think we're out of control. Yeah, truth be told, we know it. It's just the way we live. We own it. 'Cause stop, we love the thrill. We know it. It's just the way we live. We're grown-up kids. We love the thrill. They're looking at us, an audience. Keep telling us what we can do, but here we are, showing them, making them wish they were you. We've heard the most when it comes to this. Yeah, every shade of blue, but don't even care what they'll say. They think we're out of control. Yeah, truth be told, we know it. It's just the way we live. We own it. 'Cause stop, we love the thrill. We know it. It's just the way we live. We're grown-up kids. It's just the way we live. We know it. It's just the way we live. We own it. 'Cause stop, we love the thrill. We know it. It's just the way we live. We're grown-up kids. We're grown-up kids.
I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now.
All right, everyone, welcome back. As you can see, the pause is still currently on your screen, but it has been removed in real time. We've got a little bit of delay on that GoTV, but we figured we may as well go ahead and bring us into the game, have a little bit of a chat for a moment, and, well, build up to that pistol round that is finally going to be kicking off, Mike. We've been delayed just about an hour now, of course. Thank you, Valve. We love the CSGO servers, very stable. But, issues happen with things. It's just the nature of technology, and overall, it doesn't happen a lot. I think this is the first time I've had it really cut off a broadcast, other than on the Tuesday nights, which is come to,
Used to get
to be
that all the
expected,
time.
yeah.
Used to get a nice solid hour delay pretty much every Tuesday. They changed that up now. Now they like to shake it up. So we got a Monday delay. Sometimes you get Thursday in. It really just depends on the situation. We could take this a little bit of time to sort of track how we got here. This was a double elimination closed qualifier bracket. Spirit took it through the upper bracket as we're going to get this pistol round underway. Sprout, made it all the way to that upper final before getting knocked down here to the consolidation final. Meanwhile, North got knocked round 2, getting 2-0'd by Spirit and had to fight their way through, taking a 2-1 series over Illuminar, a 2-1 series over Endpoint, and finally getting here. So now we are moving. The game is afoot, folks. The game is very much afoot, and it is nice and mosaic for me, Dean. But it does seem like we're going to get a bit of a spread early on, a little bit of control in towards TCOM, but nothing really revealing their hand just yet for North. I suspect this will eventually be a split onto the A site through Ladder and TCON if they don't get anything for free that drags them otherwise, but there's a lot of options here at hand for the Danger Squad.
Yeah, it looks like it definitely could be the aim, but they've made sure to at least have one player over in the B halls making a bit of noise, and Oh, okay, I was going to say, making the CTs be aware of the fact that they could come in that direction, but D has pushed up through B just as that player has moved back down Pop Dog. So they know that it's the A hit right now that's being primed, and in from behind, maybe the second. Eventually, yeah, there we go. D have big plays already. Will eventually fall, and there's actually a couple of trades back from North, but it's not enough as Favin and Snatchy join in as well. And suddenly Gade, he comes to be the lone man standing for North. 1-on-3, he has the opportunity to catch one. Okay, good think on Favin. But they all know where he is, and Favin right now, he just needs to make sure he doesn't peek in and doesn't go down unless he has a teammate who's also taking that fight. You can see Gade wants to attempt to isolate it. Moving back in around through Brown Drain, but no, Favin still just instantly hits that headshot. There we go. Sprout, they kick off the match with the opening pistol round. And we got into this before. We had a much deeper chat into the veto a little while back. Before, of course, we knew we were going to be on such a long pause. We figured we may as well get on and have a little bit of a chat, so we weren't waiting on the break screen. But then it ended up being about an hour, so I'm sure we have plenty of people here now who weren't there before. So yeah, this is the pick of North. We said that it's pretty much a must-win for them with Dust 2 coming up next, and with that being such an amazing map for Sprout. But if we can get the Vertigo, then that on paper would be a very close one. So North need this win. Sprout will likely take Dust 2, and then Vertigo potentially to decide as a bit of a banger. That's what I'm predicting anyway.
I want to point out there is a little bit of a concern factor here for North. In the series where they beat Sprout on Train, they won both pistols. That was a critical piece of it because it wound up being a 16-11. So both pistols actually accounts for that difference in rounds. It's a huge amount when you can win and convert a pistol. We're going to have the hit enter. Snatchy just demolishes everybody. No problem here. And Snatchy comes away with a 4K. As he's not even going to make that one take a little while. He just mows them all down instantly. Diha gets in for a little bit of fun, but that is the Snatchy show. He's out to 5-0 early on here, and Sprout cruised through those first 2 rounds. But here come the guns. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Here come the guns. And I say it may be all right for North. They've got some utility to get on towards the site. They've got the AKs. There's no up yet for Sprout, so they don't need to be too concerned about that. But let's see how Sprout compensate for this MP9. They want to adjust into it. We're going to see some control towards ladder, control towards the B-halls early on, and it seems like North might just go for bit of a default. Little bit. There's aggression out Ivy. That's the answer here with the SMG. The deep smoke, control taken. Now Cajun B can't really hold this. He's got to back away.
Oh, never been rushed down. There's going to be the flank around. Okay, Dihad does make it back in time, but isn't able to do a lot with that for Mass. Snatchy gets the 2. Okay, that was big. Now he keeps them in the 3-on-3 by MSL. The aggressive after plant is what he's aiming for, and gets caught after just 1. That was strange. Takes the flash out. Didn't expect Dennis to also be coming in, I suppose, from around this area after spotting Favin. And look at Gade's position. They don't really seem to be thinking about this at the moment. The player up above him, completely unaware. Favin is surely going down, and oh yeah, the second is being spotted as well. Dennis first, and then oh no, hang on. Favin turns around. There's a molly in play and no smoke to put it out, and time is getting a little bit awkward. Favin needs to push in for the fight and wins it. Okay, he has enough time, I believe. Yeah, should be just about there. Okay.
I don't have the audio cue, so your guess is better, much better than mine, but it does seem like he has it just in time. Nicely done there. Sprout with a 3-0. What a turnaround. I thought Gade had those 2 wrapped up for sure.
That turnaround from Favin.
Incredible. Favin, we saw him go on some of these huge pop-off rounds during Sprout's run in this tournament. We've seen it from him all sorts of times where the clutch comes back in. I think there was an insane 4K clutch from him at one point. Trying to remember when exactly that was, but those numbers are stuck in my mind, and it's always a threat. And it does seem like early on, Sprout are on point. We've seen Snatchy be Snatchy before he even gets the AWP in hand. Now he's got that. They've actually got the double op as well. Secondary going for Dennis. Favin's on point. D has been solid. It's a tough scenario against a strong Sprout. And there we see it from Snatchy already getting into the B halls, getting a pick. He's looking for more. He's ready for them to come by. He's got a player in support. Now he's kind of stuck. That might be a problem unless Diha kills everybody. And that's what happens. Snatchy coming back for one more, but that's an aggressive B-hold working to perfection.
Yeah, and apart from that round, obviously, where Favin had to clutch it out, now this has been pretty clean from Sprout, because they were able to keep the 5 alive, obviously, on the anti-eco hold over towards B, and now keeping 5 alive again. It builds that economy back up from the previous round, and with that, North aren't able to buy. You're on the pistols. I'm just not liking seeing this start coming in from Nord. Obviously, we've seen them start off slow yesterday as well, when they actually lost out the opening map of Dust 2 to Endpoint. And then they bounced back really strong. That has to be noted. They were able to come back on both Nuke and Inferno with fantastic performances. But this time, if they end up losing out their own pick here of Train, then it's Dust 2 that comes up next. And I've got to say it, and I don't think it's really all that debatable. Sprout are a great Dust 2 team. Probably even better than Endpoint. So it's going to be a troublesome one, rather, if they end up having to go there while already down a map. And yeah, kills again, all going in favor of Sprout. I don't think they're going to lose anyone here. It should be another clinging round to just keep building that bank.
I have some great news, Dean.
Oh, you're robotic again on us.
Am I?
Yeah, it's whenever you open CS, it seems to be. It's all good.
1 second.
Yeah, what he said was, though, that I think he said he's getting into the server, so we'll be able to give the highest level of casting then, because Mike, he had no sound. He was watching at 30 FPS and 720p off of the stream just because his CS servers weren't up. He couldn't connect to the GoTV, but he'll be all good now.
Do I sound beautiful now?
Speak again?
Do I sound A-okay? How are we doing? 10-4, buddy.
You sound like you normally do. I'll just say that. Right?
That's good. All right. Yeah, you don't have to say I sound great, but as long as I sound per normal. And I'm in the server, folks, so we can do some proper casting here. I can actually see this without a giant mosaic flying over the screen every 2 seconds. Oh, man, it's such a good start for Sprout. And there's going to be an opening pick for MSL. That's what they needed. It's Snatchy who goes down as well. He has been unreal to this point. That's only his second death with 10 kills to show for it as well. So now with Snatchy drop, does North have an opportunity to get on the board in this game? Diha has taken deep B-Hall's control, but he's going to give it up. Just drops smoke, leaves doubt in their mind. They can't push through it. And he'll withdraw so that he can't be punished early on here. Cajun, meanwhile, wants to take Ivy control, but another smoke is going to thwart his intentions, and he's revealed his presence. So where do they go, North? Denied map control every which way. Their positions are relatively known. It seems like they're going to work their way into the halls late. Snatchy's been one of the players who's just demolished them in that late B take, and he's not there anymore. So that means the pressure's going to be on for Diha. He's all alone. There's no one here to help him out.
Yeah, but they haven't actually quite brought the bomb over yet. So I'm wondering, are they ready for the commitment? Or will we see a reaction from Sprout as well before that commitment comes in, if it is going to be brought over towards B? Because they could have some time. Is the bomb being brought back up to the halls? I think it's being brought in towards A main. So yeah, they're going to start selling a little bit of a fake towards B. It's only Gade for the moment who goes out, and yeah, he's taken out Diha. So that's pulled the rotations now in through Connector, Dennis, and one other player. Although Spitty was able to find himself info pretty early there, being up close Pop Dog, I believe. So they do get the rotation back in, but Dennis is in trouble. Gade is still holding down B, while his teammate Dennis being encircled on from the back lines and just really all over on that A-bomb site indeed. Favin falls. This round should be going the way of North unless somehow Dennis pulls off a ridiculous clutch. And his goal is more than likely to just back away and save this up.
He just mind-gamed Gade, though. Gade was hunting for him. He thought he'd withdrawn in towards spawn, and Dennis just slipped right past him. So nicely done from Dennis. He'll likely be able to save the AWP as a result. Although it seems like Gade's realized what happened. He's coming back the other direction, still looking for him among the train cars. But it is going to be a round on the board for North, and it's a good time to get it right off of the pistol and into the action. You lose that initial gun round, sure, but now you're in, and you're in with numbers. MSL, got to be a bit careful if he comes up the ladder, but Dennis is actually going to give it up. He's now paranoid about someone coming back in from spawn. There's a lot of angles he can be threatened from. He's making noise. He got tagged. He survived. MSL doesn't want to come up the ladder and take it. His op is valuable enough to them that they don't want to give it away. So Sprout, plenty of cash to get right back into it, with the double op. Saving one of them makes that less of a burden, but it does mean that North have cracked the board. It came off of an early pick on Snatchy. Let's see if North can find similar success here, or whether this time Snatchy's going to get his revenge. He wants the same fight, too. He's not really adjusting to it. He's like, all right, come on, MSL. Try it again. Try it again. See how it goes this time. MSL's over towards Ivy. Meanwhile, he's moved. It's Dennis alone with the AWP. Yeah. He's going to back away, but this may have been too late. I thought he was going to get punished before that smoke went up. He escapes. A lot of utility comes back the other way to make sure he's not tied up. And so that's actually not a bad result, considering he got out of there, Dean. I was a bit nervous.
Yeah, I think we've seen a couple players the last day being caught up around that area. Normally with the rifles, though. But yeah, Dennis, he only really wanted the early pick. As soon as he's not given it, he just needed to fall back and made the correct decision in doing so. Took a tiny bit of damage, but as you said, wastes those nades at least, or forces them to be used by Nort. So it runs down a little bit, and they do have full A main control at the moment there from Spiddy. Oh, I like this, though. AZ, he did spot the shoulder, I believe. Dropping down, trying to bait the peek in. Okay, definitely confirms the information now, but Spiddy doesn't take damage, and now he just falls back from main. But that won't instantly be known. Nort, they're going to have to try and reclaim this if they want to be taking it towards the A bomb site. And it looks like they will do so. Spiddy, he's just fell back to a new angle to go ahead and jiggle peek. We mentioned how competent this strategy is in online play. You did more so, I guess, the last day. Dennis, misses the initial shot, but then a Spiddy swing in. MSL being completely blind. It does go down, but Lekro and Cajun return. Okay, it's not looking too bad anymore for Nort, but they don't have a lot of time, and the bomb is dropped towards Ivy at the moment. This is dangerous. Dennis is low, though, eventually being taken out there by AZ, but Diha on the bomb site, he's alone now. Okay, yeah, this is dangerous. 8 seconds, can he hold on?
No, he's rolling around. He just has to avoid AZ. Don't take the fight! No, he does! Diha wins it, though. That could have been a catastrophic error because the bomb was dropped towards Ivy. They knew that it was dropped towards Ivy. The Molly came after he got the kill and then got traded out by the Molotov. And Diha manages to win that with one player alive for Sprout. He's the only survivor of the round for either side. That was risky. Taking the face was such a bold play there. But here's what I'll say. North did a really good job of denying information to Sprout, which is why that one came down to the wire, right? Because the way Sprout have liked to play, at least through these early rounds, they like to take that Brown Hall's control. They like to take some Ivy information. You've seen the attempted pushes out towards Ivy because then they know where they want to stack the site. And that didn't happen here. So you saw the rotation come in a little bit late. Diho making his way over late, Snatchy not being there in time, and that's where you get it really messy outside. Despite the messiness, though, Sprout managed to come out on top, but God, it got so close, Dean, and I think if North can continue to do that, we might see some more rounds track on. Problem is, they're now going to be limited. They win one, they lose the subsequent. They're going to have the guns, but here's where it stops. They need to get something going in this.
Yeah, or at the very least a bomb plant to keep buying, but that won't help with the issue that at the moment they are starting to lose quite a lot of rounds here on their own map choice, and if they go down by a map here early on, Dust 2 coming up next is going to look pretty bad for them overall. So yeah, good damage here again in favor of Sprout as well. It's Cajun who's taken low, but the boost, it works out. Good catch by AZ. He was definitely the standout player the last day for Nort. I mean, that's to be expected. Gade played quite well as well. I remember Cajun was actually starting to pop off with Lekro performing pretty consistently too. So they had the players showing up, so we need that again today. And a 1-for-1 trade here over towards B gives them that man advantage, and there we go. Lekro, we had mentioned his name, and he comes alive with it. He had deciding to push forward on B. They were feeling some pressure, so I understand why he wanted to give it a go, but unfortunately, that does mean that they just have to give this round up pretty much. Spiddy's actually coming back in, timing pretty decent, catches Lekro just as he was throwing that smoke down. So that's a little bit annoying for him, but do they want to move for that retake? It's not really looking like it.
Nah, it was a parting gift. The advantage, though, is with 3 alive and 3v2, you're probably not going to see North hunt that aggressively, so it should be possible for Sprout to save this without too much of a threat. I love that play from Lekro. He baited the peek in effectively, right? He gets the first kill on the Opper, trading his teammate out, and Snatchy's just in an angle where he can't quite get away. He wasn't close enough to the edge to properly escape.
Yeah.
And then what you have happen is, he's like, okay, where would the second player be positioned if Snatchy's going to try that? Probably on ladder thimbles. So he takes that one-shot back bomb train to clear one spot, just pre-firing it, and then he fades back and waits for the ladder come up. And Diha's thinking that maybe if he took that shot, he's going to continue to press out, thinking there was only one set player on B, and he's trying to take some map control. So Diha comes up the ladder to try and surprise him. Even if he's still tight to the angle, he probably gets that surprise shot. But Lekro, 2 steps ahead, ready for the peak, gets the shot, and that's a big piece of what gets North their second round. So nicely played for Lekro. He's currently pacing his team only 6-7. Hasn't been a great start for North, obviously, but it's enough. Now here, Sprout have to take the eco. We had talked about how North were up against it. Well, Sprout, the same was said. They've got a Deagle, the 2 saved M4s, and just a teensy bit of utility to try and go for this aggressive IV play. And they've gone for a stack. They will find that no one's going to meet them in this stack, and then they have a decision to make of whether they want to try and run it back in for damage or just save the 2 guns and take them further.
Yeah, I think it's likely just going to be the rifle saving again, and then the pistols trying to get a few exit kills, maybe even steal another weapon or two if possible. It would be a nice addition then in towards this next round to get them all of the nades they could ask for, because obviously there's not much loss bonus going at all at the moment for Sprout. So yeah, they're all actually just backing away. I don't mind it. I mean, they have a flash there on Dennis, I suppose. It's more so just not giving the kills over to North, not letting them build up anything that isn't necessary, although Cajun's lurking, so he's been able to find Snatchy there. I mean, I wouldn't mind if Dehan Dennis just tried to hunt Cajun down at this point and see if they could steal away the weapon, but by now it's taken a little bit too long, so I don't think it's really an option anymore. But yeah, North slowly coming back into it. What do you think they're aiming for right now here on the T side?
If they can get towards 5, I think they're happy, but they'd like more than that. I believe the last time these two teams met, it was like 8-7 in the first half. I'm going to pull up that numbers right now. It was an 8-7, actually, with North taking 8 rounds on their T side. So you need a similar scoreline here. The CT side is typically what we favor on Train, but it's just become very different in the current meta. It's no longer the dominant defensive bastion that we expect. So North, I think 8 rounds is ambitious. I would be shocked if they got there, but if they could get towards 6 or 7, they'll be very pleased with themselves coming out without having taken the pistol. When he flashes over, a lot of utility. MSL's looking for that fight early on. He wants to collect it. There's a player in office, but I don't think he spotted him, and Snatchy's going to get the opener. There's a follow-up as well. Snatchy collecting MSL. This one might be done before they even get started. Gade trying to do something, anything, and he'll find nothing. So the shutdown round again from Sprout. And these come out every once in a while when it's just Snatchy going, okay, I'm going to kill everybody as you try and get onto site.
He's 14
This is what's going to happen. He's pretty good at this thing.
Yeah.
Pretty good at it.
He can move a mouse very well. I like watching it. We got like
he is just a delight to watch as a player, right?
He is. He's been popping off in every single game. I love watching Dehan and Favin as well. They always have some ridiculous rounds in there. Very fun team in general, Sprout to watch. AZ has his pop-offs as well there on the side of North, so this is a game that I expect to definitely have some of those moments. And I mean, we've already had a fantastic clutch from Favin earlier on. But yeah, we're into another gun round. North, they need to start trying to build up a little bit more here again. They need to at least keep it scrappy, and yeah, he has no idea.
Favin doesn't know.
Oh, he's stepping back. Okay, is he going to get this? He at least escapes away, but he still isn't going to be aware, as you're alluding to, that Gade has already gotten full control in Pop Dog. So that could pay off for North to find a kill. Snatchy, this is dangerous to be facing. He has Dennis here to help, but there's players on both sides, and MSL, he's going to win out the duel. We've seen it a while back, and they were able to capitalize on it and convert it into a round win, and the A-bomb site right now is just being completely overrun. Dennis, he's going to need to go huge. If he can somehow get 3 of these kills around Ivy, then they have a chance, but he gets caught with the molly in his hands, and now it's all on Spiddy around here. He has that help actually now from Connector as well, but never mind, it's not really his help anymore. It's just the sole player now coming through and eventually being shut down by the op. So 4 for North, they bounce back. I said if they can keep it scrappy, then that's fine, but they're going to need to actually get another round now off the back of it this time. And if they do so, at that point, Sprout's economy is completely ruined. They'll be on an eco, and we'd see North likely going up towards 6. And as you said, then feeling pretty good at that point with a chance for maybe even a little bit more still.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the reality here is what we're seeing, which is that Sprout's setup and the way they want to play is predicated on getting the early advantage, right? I mean, that sounds pretty obvious. You always want to win the first pick, but they like these forward positioning, and that's tough to hold when one puzzle piece goes out. AC's already got ground. I like this. He's clearing back towards E-block. Snatchy gets dropped. That's a huge duel to find. Can Easy follow it up? Speedy's not looking for it. Where's the adjustment? There's the flashbang, but he doesn't capitalize just yet. The second one goes in. Huge kill for AZ. Yes, he'll get traded, but advantage still there, and you can see the pieces are falling apart here. And North haven't even really committed to this yet. But MSL, that's the bomb now down in Olaf, and that could be the mistake that cost him the round. He gets overwhelmed. He gets peaked by 2. Now Utility goes in to try and defend this site, and North have to slow down. They've worked Cajun B all the way through B, and there is plenty of time on the clock, so he can go either Z or he can go through spawn and threaten from the blink. But in the meantime, Diha goes looking. Diha loses it. Let Crow. Done enough. They don't have to make the move yet. They want to wait for Cajun. That's a huge kill and untraded. But it's going to be a pincer. Gade wants to make the move before his teammate's in position. This could be an error. Oh, he can't go down here, and he's being flanked. Favin goes looking for it. Favin into T-Con. No! Has the wrong idea, and Gade will get past him. Now he knows where Dennis is. Gade will collect that. 35 seconds, though. Do they realize where Favin's playing from? It seems they do. There's the spot. There's the info. Get back around the train car. Molly in to prevent Gage. And the relocation. Favin, good shot. Swaps the gun, but he gets caught in the open, and that's going to be North's round. That came right down to it. It felt like a seesaw just going up and down for both sides. But getting caught in the open for Favin is the killing blow, and that's going to be North closing this gap just a bit more.
I get where he was coming at with that play, though. The hope was, obviously, he put the molly straight down on the bomb. He was hoping the other player would go through behind the green train and just in towards Olaf to try and recover the bomb. And if he had have made it the pop dog, at that point he can tuck in for a second, catch the player on the cross back over, and, well, try and win the round that way. But yeah, a little bit weird. Taking his knife out, getting caught. It's unfortunate he didn't go straight to that AK after picking it up. The one situation, I guess, where CL_auto weapon switch would have been a help if it was on. But yeah, it's as we said, that gives North now the opportunity to really start building up some rounds, and that's what they need. As we said, Train is a must-win for them in this series. If they manage to take it, then I still feel like we're going to see the 3-map series, but I do feel like North could claim the whole series overall. As I said, Vertigo, it's primed to be a very close game between these two.
I think that the thing that I'm most enjoying here for North is they recognize Sprout's game plan, which is built around getting Snatchy an attempt at that early pick.
It's hard not to recognize when he's so present on the scoreboard.
This is true. This is true. But I mean, they're playing into it, right? They're not trying to avoid him. What they're trying to do is they're trying to predict where he's going to go for it and fight him. And just get there before he does, so then you can come in with the punishment. They're anticipating Snatchy. And Snatchy is good. He's going to get you some of those rounds. But on a T side, if you can split that half, that's fine. Oh, they've overlooked the player on ladder. This could be problematic for Gage, but he's just going to kill everybody, it seems. Is he going to get caught? Speedy's behind him. Or rather, sorry, Snatchy. Snatchy, not going to be able to line up that last shot. He did the damage. And so eventually Gade will go down, but he killed 4 beforehand, so they'll let him rest. Everybody else can come in to make sure his AK doesn't survive into the next round. And that's going to be it. Speedy gets cleaned up. There was no chance for him to escape. You saw 3 players were chasing. And North now 1 away from the tied scoreline on their T side. Sprout had a prime position with 5 rounds right off the jump. And since then, they've only been able to collect 2. This is problematic for the Sprout squad.
Momentum-wise, North are going to be feeling fantastic now. But if Sprout can get 1 more round, then I still feel like it's a half that they can be overall decently happy with. Obviously, they would have wanted a lot more in the start, but in general, it would be okay. And I think it'd keep them in a decent spot. But North, yeah, no, they've just done such a great job at recovering this half right now. And it still could keep on going in their direction. They could come out with the 8 rounds. This buy isn't all that great, as we can see for Sprout. They're lacking nades on a lot of those players, especially. Favin down in Pop Dog at the moment. Gate above, and that's actually where most of North are, and I believe they're just going to take it over towards B. Yeah, everyone's actually making their way over in this direction, so we're going to see a quicker B hit. And having a look at the radar right now, you can see for Sprout, they've actually already got a 3-man stack over on this side of the map. They've got for now Diha, Snatchy, and also Spiddy in position to hold this one down. Taking a bit of a gamble, but it could pay off if they keep it in play for now. And here we go, the execute coming over. Smokes down deep as well to try and slow rotations through connector. But we have one under the ladder. You have the Og there in the back lines as well. But the flashes actually blind up Snatchy and did take Spiddy off the angle for a moment. But somehow all of the frags have come back. Diha held strong on the bomb site, and then Dennis stepped up elsewhere. I believe he was the player who actually came through connector. Indeed he was. Taking out 2 for himself, and suddenly it's all on Cajun. It started off well on that execute, but it quickly crumbled, and there's no recovery to be had either. So Sprout, they do rebound now and bring themselves up to 8. At least securing 1 more round and a lead at the halftime, but ideally they would want to bounce back and get this final round as well. Coming through at a 9-6 then, yeah, pretty good half, and I think they can forget about the fact that they lost a few rounds in a row.
Yeah. That would be ideal. They're not going to have the AWP to do so, though, so there are limitations here. But maybe that keeps Snatchy a bit more patient on it. I will say it's already better than their last go around. They took 7 rounds on their CT side against North last time. Now they've got 8. So looking better by the moment. Now let's see if they can make it all that much sweeter in victory. Nice timing on the nade. Dennis is going to eat that. There's the flashbang. They're anticipating this play, but he's still going to get both. They were ready for him. They were watching for that exact maneuver, and Dennis doesn't care. Dennis takes down 2. What a huge play. The veteran. Gonna be making moves out on towards the site. Diha is up, or do they realize this? They're gonna realize it when he throws that flashbang. Now they do.
Yeah.
Player out towards Z. It's gonna be the encroach back in. They'll give up the bomb plant since it doesn't matter in this situation. There's the nade that finishes a kill. Snatchy gets claimed, but everybody else is faltering, and Lecro is not long for this world either. Dennis fittingly gets the last kill there. The defuse will be on, and Sprout will secure the 9-6 here.
Yeah, that pretty strong half overall. I think North aren't going to be unhappy though, because it's still a decent recovery from the position that they were initially looking to be in. So yeah, I think this second half it's gonna be a very close one. I don't think that first half can give us much of a conclusion, considering both teams are stepping up, both teams have players popping off. All I really know is that we're gonna have a great game on our hands, but we're gonna have to send it over to a quick break, guys. We'll be back in just around 3 minutes, so make sure you stick with us.
Out of the shadows, I've come to make a name. Ready for battle, cause I got a thing to claim. Think that I'll crumble, I'll show you your mistake. Where you see me coming, better run for cover, cause I'm not slowing down, I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. So meet the monster I came to conquer. When all the smoke clears, I'll still be on my feet. Forget all of my fears, cause I know my destiny. I feel a champion waking inside of me. It's set in motion, the legend's spoken. This is my moment. Can't break my focus, know where I'm going. This is my moment. Where you see me coming, better run for cover, cause I'm not slowing down, I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. So meet the monster I came to conquer. When you see me coming, better run for cover. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger.
They're looking at us in audience, keep telling us what we can do, but here
Alright everyone, welcome back. We said it wouldn't be too long of a break, and I was telling the truth as we are right back into the pistol round now. Ideally, I think North do want to pick this up so that they can keep up that momentum that they had there in the middle of that previous half pretty much, but it hasn't started off too well. Cajun, he did get himself the initial kill, a couple trades came back, but North, they've come alive. MSL specifically on that CZ, been able to take down 2 there from Pop Dog, and despite Dennis now being still alive and having a chance here on B to get the bomb plant, winning the round is going to be tough with just 23 HP.
All he wants is that plant, though, and he got it. He got it. The chances of winning this are minimal at best. Cajun B is going to make sure that the thought's not even in his mind. A nice 3K for Cajun on the pistol. And the defuse will be on there, but that bomb plant means that North are not out of the woods. We're going to see the force buy come in from Sprout, and as we know, that T-side force buy is one of the most absurd things in the current meta of Counter-Strike. So let's see what North do as a response and how much Sprout are going to bring to bear. Lots of capital available. You can get 2 rifles there easily. No, they're going for pistols. They're going to half it. Sprout don't want to do it. Sprout are running counter meta. They're not going to mess with this force buy at all. They're just breaking out some deagles. They want to get to the guns early. And that's interesting.
Snatchy, you want him to have that up, man. And he was looking amazing on the previous half.
That is true. You're very correct about that. And it's going to be Dennis who's saving up for it because he's got 3450.
Oh, yeah, he's actually really rich. I didn't even notice that. Dennis just hoarding the money there. Oh, they still
Okay.
get an opening kill though. Yeah, Favin's been
Yeah.
able to open up there on AZ. All right then. They don't. Oh, they do get the weapon,
Little
but
bit
it's just an
concerned.
MP9. Dennis is actually going to claim that. He's hoarding everything. He's got the molly too. He's like all mine this round.
Look at
Spiddy creeping out.
Lekr has
Favin
no
gets
idea.
another.
Favin's gonna
Forget
get
about
trapped.
Spiddy. Oh no, what is happening? This is an
Okay.
eco, boys. You can't lose this. This flank though, it could recover things, but if Gade doesn't get at least 2 kills, then they're in a lot of trouble. And Diaz even lurking behind on A. He's been spotted, but now they know where Cajun is, so that slightly narrows down numbers. Favin destroys Gade. Mike,
It's a save.
What's
They have to save. They don't have armor.
what's happening?
Dean, how have none of them died? Diaz the only one who's taken damage. Okay, Snatch is on 94, but come on. They don't have armor. They just bought 3 Deagles and a P250. That's it. What is happening here? North, it's all falling apart for them, and this is not the time to unravel.
No,
Sprout are getting the best of both worlds. Cajun's been spotted. Is he going to get traded? No, he brings in the kills, but they can't win this round at this point. They're off. They're just trying to survive with these 2 rifles. This is so absurd. You're saving in a round where your opponents didn't invest. And they are going to succeed at least, so these 2 rifles survive. But North, that's a catastrophe. They have fallen apart. That is the most bittersweet 4K you're ever going to see. Cajun B gets the 4K, but he's just crying the whole time because they have lost a boneheaded round. That huge mistakes, isolated fights, just a lack of a situational awareness for the B-site player where he's tucked in far too much, allowing the pistols forward. Really nice play from Sprout. Nutty deagle shots, to be fair.
From
but
Favin especially.
yeah. But this is a catastrophe. Now we've got a double op T side because they have the money for it. They won a round they didn't expect. The cash is great. And North have 3 pistols, a 4 spy in, and 2 M4 saved.
It's not looking optimal at the moment for North, no. They had a slow start in that first half, and they certainly can't afford to have another slow start here. It would potentially cost them the map and maybe even the game, as we said, with Dust 2 coming up next. Would have been such a strong map for Sprout. But yeah, I mean, 2 M4s in play here. They've kept quite a bit of money as well, just so that they can afford a buy as soon as possible. It's not going to be in this next round, rather the one afterwards, but that does look to be the goal. Smoke over towards Ivy there, I believe. Indeed. Put some pressure on those A players. Allow for maybe Dennis to peek out a bit, but he has been smoked off, so I don't think that'll be happening for now. So yeah, Sprout, they're just continuing on with the default. They haven't done a lot yet, and they do have a double up setup, which is a bit iffy when you're up against these weaker buys. Especially on the T side.
Yeah, but look at this. They've completely abandoned A, and that's the direction it's heading. They're not even going to have an issue. Not even going to have a contest here. AZ's trying to get back onto site, but he is the only one. A flank might come down ladder, so if they wait too long, Sprout could be in a bit of issue. AZ tucked in the smoke is just going to try and catch the planter as it goes down and maybe try and pull off something on the clock. Favin takes care of Lekr. That's 1 threat gone. Bomb doesn't get planted, though. MSL has it on the timing. Now AZ could get the second. He's going to. Oh, 19 seconds. This is a problem now, Sprout. Oh, you made this look so good. Everything was working your way. It's all falling apart. Snatchy is the only survivor. 12 seconds he has to save. Sprout loses similar round. North get back to it, and Sprout just allow them too much time. AZ on the bomb train, the ace in the hole, but 2 big kills from MSL with one of the only rifles they brought through. And that's incredible from North. What a way to get back on track. Just run the clock out against your opponent. And now things are weird for Sprout. What a crazy couple of rounds in a row there, Dean.
I guess it's only fair. I
Yeah.
guess it's only fair. I don't know what's up with MSL this tournament. I don't know about stats wise, but from what I've seen in terms of how consistent he's been and how much impact he's been
one of
able to
their best
have.
players.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's definitely been within those top 2 players alongside, well, Gade and AZ maybe. I don't know. I feel like Gade hasn't been as consistent. They kind of take turns showing up. When they show up together, incredible. They probably have a map win, but I feel like they've been a bit more inconsistent. They've been taking turns while MSL has been able to deliver every game, and yeah, it's been incredible to see. It's brought North back into a position where they can take some control right now, and that's as long as they don't give too much away, because Dennis has delivered an opening in favour of Sprout towards Ivy, but Gade, I mentioned his name a moment ago, and he will be able to get that trade back. A nice molly as well going down from his teammate and taking all of the attention pretty much. He has a couple players though closing in the distance, but he deals with it well. 3 from Gade already in his round. MSL, he's ready for Snatchy after seeing the gun barrel, and it's even the quad kill in the end from Gade. So 9 for North, and this one's going to have to be the eco, so very likely we will have that scoreline tied up at 10-10.
Sprout are going to be kicking themselves so much. They were gifted a round over. They were gifted an opportunity to take a massive lead, and they fumbled it. Not for that last round, obviously, but the round prior.
Yeah.
It just allowed North in, and that
Which still
honestly
hasn't
might be the
broken.
turning point in this entire game, because that should have been the death blow for Sprout. It's curious to see. Double op going to be up here. It is funny to see MSL and Cajun B as two of the top performers for North. It's just not the way that it consistently happens for them, but they are doing so.
Oh.
Gate, obviously, off that big 4K does skyrocket to the top of the board,
Oh, we got a Zeus.
but we do have a Zeus out here.
How did Gate get tagged? I seen it over towards Ivy, but I don't know what weapon hit him because he just
He took a
instantly
nade.
lost. Oh, was it? Okay.
I think
Yeah.
he took 2 nades.
That's unlucky then. But we'll
Very
see.
high impact nade,
Should
apparently.
be still their round
That's
anyway.
not gonna work.
That was a nice
Yeah,
shot from
can't beat
AZ.
that with the Glock.
AZ hasn't been doing a lot to be fair this game, so I'd like to see him wake up. Even if he just gets a few kills here, it's a bit of confidence building for him. And yeah, he's able to get 2 for himself, and the others are going to go ahead and clean up what remains. 10-10. We expected to be here after that previous round being an eco, but now we wonder if Sprout can come back alive because, I mean, yeah, they won out in eco earlier. We've yet to see a full gun round being won from them. At least on the T side, of course.
I'll tell you one thing I don't really want to see again. I don't really want to see that double op on T side.
Yeah.
It was one of the things that allowed that round to get
They
away
didn't
from them.
buy
not
that,
being
did
able
they?
to Play it quick.
Was one carried over, or what the hell happened there?
I think one was carried over, and then they
Yeah.
invested into the second one, but I don't actually call exactly. But as it is now, we are going to have the 5 AKs up. Cajun B's got a little bit of a duel. The double op is here on the CT side, and it's so good for the defense. A little bit of concern. He was hoping for the boost back over to punish. It's not going to happen just yet, but Sprout don't really have any inroads. I will say, North, so light on the B presence. And this is what they do on most maps. They trust Lekro to hold. And he's good. He's very good at being that soul side anchor. It's such a tough job. Probably the hardest and most thankless job in Counter-Strike, being a side anchor.
Yeah.
That's what they ask of him.
AZ, though, he has a similar role on A right now, and sadly can't really do anything with it. I may have jinxed them a tiny bit. Gate is still around here, but for now it's just kind of hiding in behind the green train. Will he get a fight soon? No, he's gone. Okay, everyone just gets dropped through the smoke right there. This is just rolling over the A defense at the moment. A couple of kills eventually salvaged, but it is by those players that had to rotate back in from B. And at this point, it's not looking like they want to move for it, do they? No, they have money, but I guess you want to think long-term as well, with it being such a close scoreline. There is the danger if they go for this here, obviously, then they spend everything into the next round, but there's still the... There's still a situation that even if they save over these 2 weapons and buy up the other players, likely then won't have any money left over. So then it would just be kind of maybe a few pistols being bought up on an eco. So there's a chance for Sprout to take some good control here, but what we've seen so far has been a very scrappy fight between the two. So I'm not discounting North. They can definitely bounce back here with a plentiful buy. They won't be lacking anything.
I think part of it is that they do have that double op, and they know how expensive that can get down the line, so they
Yeah.
want to keep it as
True.
healthy as possible. But look, when it was a 2v5, I absolutely expected to save, but then they get 2 kills instantly. And a 2v3 with plenty of time, with the bomb having just gone down. Money to spare, that did seem like maybe a winnable situation. But North are going to stay disciplined. They're going to stick to their guns, which is that if we come up against them with a full buy, and they have a full buy, we should be able to win the round. And they can give themselves as many opportunities for it as well. And this does guarantee at least one more buy in the tank, I think, as Lekro will have that 7k left over. He's going to spend some of it, but they should be able to drop an op over and make it work regardless of what happens here. Maybe it'll be a single op instead of a double op if nothing gets saved through, but we will see. 2 AUGs! We got a bit of a symmetrical buy here from North. AZ and Gade going to be picking up those scoped rifles. Where do they deploy those? Leaving just Lekro as the B-side anchor, the man with an M4.
Yeah, we've got the 4 scopes going at the moment for that A-bomb site. I guess they're going to try and keep their distance overall, but even as I say that, though, they go a little bit more forward on the whole. Having a player up on brown train, one up on the blue train as well. As he wanted to be in Pop Dog with that weapon as well, but has been mollied back out right now by Sprout, so can't go in yet, but he may reclaim it still. Indeed he will. And for now,
I kind of hate the AUG here.
Yeah, it's not a great option.
I love the AUG. I hate it in ladder because it slows your fire rate down. If 2 players drop, you're very vulnerable.
Oh, I was going to say we'll see how it goes, but MSL has actually already gone down. That was one of the ops, of course, over towards Ivy being caught. Yeah, very early advantage being found for Sprout, and they instantly start retreating away from main, other than just one player. They put a smoke down towards E-Box to try and limit vision, and they'll send one player to make a little bit of noise. It should be spotted, though, by AZ. Okay, he spots the shoulder of one player, and that does take him off the angle for the moment, so they can't quite see if there's a couple players or not approaching from that position. But they still have 2 on B, so let's see what Gade and Lekro can do about the hold over here. Lekro, no, he's not able to get anything. The AUG, though, it will be able to retrieve 2 kills and falls back into that smoke to stay alive for now. Great work by Gade. And with 2 players still heavily tagged on the side of Sprout, they are in trouble right now. Getting that bomb down, it's not going to be an easy task. There's actually a nade for Cajun. Can he get that in? Indeed, he will toss it over, and it doesn't get the kill, but Gade ends up taking one really quickly. But hang on, he's above. They have no idea, apparently. Snatchy's going to go down, and there we go. Spitty falls as well. North, they've done it. They've bounced right back. They've tied up the score again, and they'll even take a second there to retrieve a little bit more before the defuse comes in. The bomb plant goes down for Sprout, and how's their loss bonus looking? Okay, it's not
It can
great.
make it happen. It's not great, though. I
don't know.
expect a half might have come through or something of that nature, but that was the Gade show. Again, we've now seen 2 or 3 of these rounds where Gade pulls up a huge play to bounce them back. It was a 5v3 at one point. Gade just starts killing everybody on that inner site, and they don't account for him. Sprout try and play passive as opposed to chasing down that kill, knowing that Gade was low, and that was the big mistake in the moment. Because he can slip away, he then gets that kill on Snatchy by going high on the bomb train, and they don't have the manpower to deal with it. So, very nicely done from Gade. Huge performance from him in a couple of these rounds. His kills have come in bunches, but they're the ultimate impact frags, right? He's gotten, actually, looking at his scoreline, he got a 4K that round, and he didn't have a kill between his last 4K and this one. They're coming in bunches.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's okay when you have MSL
great.
also stepping up pretty consistently. Cajun's having a really good game, as you said as well, being up there alongside the top fraggers at the moment. Lekro's been a bit quiet, especially on that B hold there in the previous round, but he still has a little bit of time to come alive.
Mm-hmm.
And overall, he's not playing bad by any means. Just we've seen some good performance, especially on Nuke from him yesterday. But yeah, 11-11.
It's the side anchor. It's such a tough role to play. His whole job is basically to buy time and do what damage he can. It is a thankless role. You're never going to have those sexy stats unless you're absolutely unreal. Good pick for AZ. Takes that ladder control early. He's got an AK this time, so that tight fight is much easier to work with. Dennis, you can tell he wants to trade it, but this is going to be a timing question. He's hoping he comes into his crosshair. Either that or Dennis might go for the drop. He's going to go for the drop. That's bold. AZ's giving it up. Sounds towards the E-Box now. And they'll at least be able to retrieve that rifle as a result. So they've got something more to work with. Although it's in the hands of an unarmored player, so there's only so much that can... Actually even gives it up. Over to Diha. Now here's going to come the hit. They brought a second player in. I like that for North. Smokes are going to come over. They're just trying to get a bomb plant here. That's the idea. And then get forward in the bomb trains and take it from there. Gade is here. The man who's been a monster is between the bomb train sections. And they're going to start dropping bodies. What can Gade do? Gade finds the first. That's the rifle down. The armored player out. And Gade, well, he will get taken away. And that's a bomb plant guaranteed for Diha. Naden would finish it, but there are none available. And Diha now just wants to try and do whatever damage he can. 1v4, no armor, no health. Yeah, he's not long for this world. But at least they planted that bomb.
Yeah, that's the issue with Train. When you're on the CT side, it's a bit easier to concede the bomb plant against an Eco or one of those weaker buys than it is on most other maps. Just because if they get down the ramp, if they can pile out upper as well at the same time, and that initial defender goes down without pretty much getting all of the kills, then there's a pretty good chance the bomb is going to be planted. Usually, even if there is a second player, he's a little bit further back and can't quite stop it unless the nades are in time. So yeah, a little bit of extra money at least for Sprout to work with. It does help them out now coming into this round, but they need to start pulling out some more themselves, some more rounds, that is, because, a reminder, they started things off on a really high note, going up, what was it, 6-2? Or 7-2 even?
It was 6-2 at one point. I mean, 6-1 at one point.
6-1, okay.
Most ideal for Sprout.
So it's certainly been North at the moment, controlling most of the situations. Sprout do need to come back to life, and being here on the T side as well, being down by one round, it is a little bit of a scary spot to be in. So yeah, this is where they need to bounce back and start building up some more rounds for themselves. Otherwise, I think North are on track to claim their map pick here.
It's only been 2 isolated rounds as well, one of which was that shaky, not even forced by, but just limited by that they somehow won. where it just seemed like it was North falling apart more than anything. That's a big kill, though, on Lekro. That means that the site is secured. It's going to be a retake setup for North, down a man. We've seen this with pistols plenty of time, limited setups, but now we need to see it with the guns. North, can they retake against it? KGB apparently thinks so. 2 big kills coming in from the man, and they're looking for more. Good answer from Snatchy. Now they know Snatchy's position, and damage will come through. MSL eventually finishing that off, and Dennis can't line up the kill. Speedy misses his spray. It's all over. MSL just dismantles them with 3 big kills on site. And that's going to be a defuse on, and North on to 13. Sprout had a prime opportunity. You've got an advantage. You've got 5 alive. You've got the site. And they just can't win their fights. They can't win their duels, and they go into far too many fights down the lanes and give the opportunity for North to get back in.
Yeah. I mean, normally you say it's hard to retake B here on Shrine with a double up setup, but as you said, too many opportunities were given to them, and Cajun and MSL, they snatched them all up and keep propelling themselves now at this point towards the finish line. 13-11, the pause comes in from Sprout. Makes sense, they need to have a chat and try and correct what's going wrong. They need to calm down a little bit on those peaks when they're in situations, or at least be ready to follow up with each other. As yeah, the buy at least does come true. The loss bonus at this point is up at max. They were able to get themselves the extra money, of course, with the bomb plant too, so it's not bad.
No.
But they don't have the op available. And when you're up against MSL and Cajun, who are both hitting shots with their ops at the moment, that is not ideal.
Weirdly enough, yes, ideally you'd like to have Snatchy be able to go forward with that op, but I don't hate
He's
the
been
limitation
really quiet
of
this
the op.
half-time. He was 15
really
at
has.
half-time, right?
Yes, something along
17
those
now?
lines. Yeah, that's actually, you're absolutely right.
hang
That's a
on.
huge piece that's gone down for them. Speedy's going to get an opener, though. Gate is blind. He's dropped down. Now they know Speedy gets the punish. This is how they go quicker. This is where the AKs work for them. MSL, though, huge shot with a deagle. He has been unreal through this qualifier, and he's doing more of it. Molly in, but that'll just press Dennis further forward. Might pull him into MSL's crosshair. That's exactly what happens. That was the plan they drew up, but MSL's now down. It can't help them. Advantage still to Sprout. I have to be careful not to allow these CTs to work themselves into 1v1 fights. It's exactly what KGB is looking for. He's like, okay, isolate yourselves. Let me get this. Let me come around. Bomb's going to be planted. KGB playing tight up to the train. He's going to get this. Diha, no chance for the trade. No players close. Now they're playing off of it. There's smokes available. There's mollies available. And they'll start to eliminate positions. So Speedy's going to try and get into the angle. KGB's going to come looking for it. KGB loses that one. It was good till that point, but it all comes apart. And here's going to be an attempted defuse from Lapcrow. He wants a beta response before he actually gets on that bomb, and now he'll do it. Gotta just spray him, and indeed Speedy will, lining it up to make sure he won't miss. That is an ace from Speedy.
All right, yeah, that's what they need. I don't think he's going to be able to do back-to-back aces, though, so the rest of them are going to need to help him out here in this round, because, as you said, so far we've only seen individual rounds, really, from them here on the D side, so they need to manage to find a little bit more. And yeah, another pause comes in. I guess they realized that, yeah, it's still way too close. They need to ensure that that's something they're able to replicate and keep on winning out the rounds. It will break down the economy of North if they win this one as well. At that point, the Danes will be in a lot of trouble, probably giving up the lead before they get back onto the rifles themselves. And considering the double up setup is something that they've been loving so much, that probably wouldn't be coming out then either. So, yeah, I mean, North, they can probably appreciate the moment to have a chat here before they bounce back into another round to try and redeem themselves from that previous. As you said, though, great work by MSL. I don't know what's up, but he is really feeling it throughout this entire qualifier, and it's good to see. But unfortunately, it wasn't quite enough within that round to actually get them the victory. As we get another pause, this one I believe being a technical pause. Do we have any info? Not exactly, but we know it's ended anyway. We know it doesn't last too long. The GoTV obviously has a little bit of delay. Oh, no, it didn't last long at all. It was literally just a few seconds. So we're good. We're getting back into it now, guys. And yeah, this round, not exactly going to decide it. Maybe for North anyway, you could send them up the map point unless the bomb goes down. And even then, actually, there wouldn't be enough for Sprout. So yeah, it is very important. If Sprout get it, though, they're up towards 14. And at that point, then North are the ones who will have to be fighting back in. So it's a very important round. It really decides who's going to be controlling this game now going into the final few.
So apparently that tech pause was because Speedy had some issues, and whatever issues he was having, keep having them, man. You got an ace. You got an ace, bro.
He was too good in the previous round. He had to fix it.
Yeah, right.
Like,
I mean,
he
wasn't
better lower
he
people's
literally
expectations.
Went from bottom of the board to getting an ace in a round and catapulting himself up. So I don't know that he wants to fix whatever that was. I've just noticed that the scoreline right now is 13, 14, 2 16s, and a 17. So what we need here is we need a little bit, couple kills to work out, and we could get the full count up numbers. Close, folks. We're close. That's clearly what matters in this matchup.
Oh yeah, not the IEM Beijing spot that's on the line.
Who cares about that? I care about scoreline symmetry. Lekro's the only player towards inner once again. He's got the cavalry coming in, though, and it's Gade. These two players together, quite a duo. Just below the ladder is AZ. Start to back out, but he's still going to be taking this fight, and they're going to test him. Foffin looking to clear it. Nade goes in. AZ's bailed, though. Good pacing from AZ. Giving it up at just the right time. Backing off towards the bomb train, setting up towards camera. They're ready for this hit to come through. 3 players on site. A little bit of vulnerability here. Unless Cajun B can take this kill towards Ivy early, that would be nice. He's looking for it. But the utility's pushing him off. It's MSL instead to get the party started. There, Cajun B goes to clean it up. Now the pressure's on. They go towards the middle bomb train. AZ's playing with the smoke. That's brilliantly done. He catches Fav, and he won't be able to get the follow-up, but it's still just going to be Dennis. He's only got 15 seconds to go, and Lekro is whittling away his health in the meantime. Now he's frozen in his spot. He knows he's going to be peaked, and it's all over. Another round for North, just 2 away from claiming map 1 here, and it does seem like Sprout have just come up against it. They've slowed right down at a critical juncture, and North look to take this home.
Yeah, really just slowed down a lot in general from that initial 6-1 lead that they had. And just great work there by North in that previous round to run down time and to make Sprout work for every single inch of map control that they got. Even when Favin dropped down into Pop Dog, he dropped the nade himself, I think, to kind of cover up himself as he was dropping so that the smoke would do so. But he took a bit of fall damage, and then the nade also brought him down a bit, and he ended up, I think, 60 before they could even start to hit, as well as Snatchy being tagged up. So, yeah, not ideal. North, they should be heading towards 15 before we see the guns again, and as we can see, Sprout are going to be aiming to try and take this one to an overtime. We mentioned that this was a must-win for North in terms of the way the veto has gone down with Dust 2 coming up next. That's one we favour for Sprout. So I don't think Sprout will be feeling too demoralised, but still, it was looking good initially. They had such a great start on the map that it's going to be a bit disappointing that they weren't able to keep up that performance.
On goes the hit. Molly's going to go through, but they are going to be able to get past it, I believe. Dennis is getting a ton of nade damage. Favin's actually just going to burn. I don't know quite what happened there. Maybe the nade just slowed him down too much, but should have been able to get away from that one, and he certainly does not. So kills for free here. Very little to work with here for Sprout. Lekro's about to claim another. Finishes off the already limping Dennis, and it's just all coming away. They couldn't get out while the smoke was still up. It's just Diha. He'll get a bomb plant. That'll allow them a proper buy in the last potential round as they fight for overtime, but that's all she wrote. 4 players surviving here for North. No real problems. They cruise through that one. Yes, they can't deny the bomb plant, but everything else works out for them. So Sprout, here it's do or die on train. Do or die. 3 rounds in a row to take us to overtime. That's what they're looking for, Dean. Do you believe? Can they do it?
Do I believe? No, not what we've seen from them here so far on the T side. I mean, 3 rounds sounds really plausible, but they've all just really dropped off. Snatchy hasn't really gotten a chance to get going either. He hasn't had the up all that many times. He does have a back out now, so maybe he can step up a little bit, but as I said, he's really slowed down, especially since the halftime, and they all just have in general. We had that 1 ace from Spiddy, but other than that, there's not really much being done. So North, they're definitely on track anyway to take themselves this first map, and as I said, pretty much necessary with Dust 2 coming up next, and then Vertigo, if we need it, which I think is still pretty possible rather, even if North end up taking this first map. Vertigo definitely would be an exciting one. Moving back out there to avoid the nade. Good work by Gade. But yeah, Sprout taking things slow. In the default at the moment, not really focused towards one position in particular, just trying to pressure everywhere. The bomb though, I believe, moving back up through the B halls. Indeed it is, on the back of Spiddy. Oh yeah, and it looks like they actually do want to just take it to B. Leaving D hat to lurk around Ivy, so he might try and pop out a little bit later. But the B hit looks to be, the B site looks to be targeted rather. Lekro's got a molly though.
He does. It's been a very mixed result for them. Presumably there's a smoke available for the Molotov. At least they've got to be ready for it. Now, Gade isn't here. He's been a player who shut them down, but the problem is that means MSL is here with the AWP. He's the one providing cover for Lekro. Lekro's worked his way up by the bomb train. He's going to have to take this fight. He gets 1 damage onto the second as well, so decent effort for Lekro, but MSL goes down to the AWP. Now an advantage for Sprout. They've had trouble hanging on to these before, but the thing is, because Diha's still here, because Diha's been spotted, he's freezing up the rotation. They have to account for him before they can rotate in to help their teammate, and this might just buy enough time. He's done his job, actually. They're frozen. They can't go forward. They don't want to deal with it. They're expecting this peak, and he is just bleeding out the clock, so they're going to have to go for the save. North wants nothing to do with this now. They've missed their own window of opportunity, and they're going to bail on it. So Sprout will win this round. We'll take the 13th. And a huge part of it is just Diha being annoying over here.
he's just such a nuisance. He finally shows himself, but it's when there's less than 10 seconds left on the bomb. So he's done everything he needed to do. Probably doesn't even care too much that he died. Only 2 going down as well in the round for Sprout, so that ensures that they can drop the weapons back over here to the 2 who did fall. Get all of the nades that they need as well, then obviously have no weaknesses here, because they still need 2 more in order to actually take us into the overtime. But that's only 2 rounds. That is very, very doable. I said I didn't believe earlier, but I mean, you put me on the spot. I had to say something. I may live to regret it, and I won't really care, because then we'll be getting an overtime in this fantastic game. This fantastic map will keep going on. But we've got the pause from North now. They realize they don't have a lot of opportunities to actually close this. If they lose out this round here, they only get 1900 loss bonus, and yeah, that wouldn't give everyone enough to buy. It would only really be MSL and Cajun who could. AZ, Lecro, and Gade, then especially AZ would be low on money.
If we look at the trend of this half, though, what it's been isolated rounds for Sprout. They've been unable to chain 2 together.
Yeah.
They had that obviously insane round where they won with the pistol, no armor. That never should have happened. But then there were 3 immediately back in response in a row from North, including 1 forced buy. Then there was 1 round, then 3 in a row. 1 round, 2 in a row. 1 round, that's where we're at right now. Let's see if Sprout can finally chain some rounds, or if North are just going to be able to close things out here. The double op is out. It's back to the AUGs as well. Many scopes, the 4 scopes. North, they want a little vision into their future, so they're consulting their foroscopes. Let's see if the portents are good.
Yeah, I mean, they were rocking this setup earlier as well. Lecro always the one on the M4. He finds that weapon a bit more viable. The high fire rate when you're solo in a bomb site is quite useful. And the smoke faded away just before they started going. MSL had free vision. Lecro's going to catch one as well. He can just tuck in now and allow for MSL to watch that and focus on upper. But no, he ends up dropping down because of the Molotov. So he will fall. But MSL able to trade out again and keep it at this point now in a 2-man advantageous position for the CTs, and it just keeps on getting better. They don't even let the bomb go down. Dennis is all alone. It's looking like this is going to be it for Train as Dennis runs out of bullets. That's as awkward as it could have possibly been. And then he gets naded down just to add a bit of insult to injury. 16-13. North, they're able to close it out.
That is a huge bummer for Sprout as well. North, phenomenal showing for them. We saw, I mean, if we're looking at the scoreboard here, I knew at one point it was like 22 all across the top. MSL steps up at the end there. He's 26. He paces the board, which is huge for North. Then you've got Gate on 22. You've got KJB on 22. It's a really good scoreboard for them to look at. Is they're hitting. They've got enough players hitting that this is working out. We saw some big holds coming in from every player. So really good form for North. There was that round. I'm going to draw back to it just because it was so unbelievable where they lost a pistol, no armor.
True.
That could have derailed everything for them. But immediately winning the subsequent force buy, getting back on track, that shows the mental toughness and discipline. And Sprout just really couldn't get back into the map from there. So well done on map 1. Curious to see if we're going to get some fight like this from North on map 2.
Well, I mean, North can play Dust 2. It's such an incredible map for Sprout. We've seen them beat them on it recently enough as well, just a couple of weeks back. And yeah, although it is a map that North play a decent amount, statistically it is one of their worst ones that they play. Obviously they insta-ban out Mirage every time, so we're not counting that one. But yeah, it's going to be a tough road. I do think we're going to see more from Sprout, definitely heading on towards Dust 2. I feel like we're still primed for a 3-map series here, which, I mean, I'm good with. I like seeing more CS, but I'm sure for North, they do want to try and end it in 2, of course, and claim that spot at IEM Beijing. And Giant Spirit were, of course, the first team to claim one of those spots. There's the entire lineup as well. I don't actually have it here right now, so I'm not going to start saying any names just in case I get something wrong. But of course, that'll be the second spot that was available from this qualifier. So yeah, guys, we're going to have plenty more action. We still have at least 1 more map, maybe 2 to come, so make sure you stick with us. But for now, we are going to go ahead and send it over to a little bit of a break, but we will be back ASAP with that second map.
With the right CPU, you can turn any game from familiar to phenomenal. Unleash the potential in all your gaming with Intel 10th Gen processors. With its optimal balance of threads, cores, and frequency to deliver elite real-world performance, only Intel can bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game PC optimizations. Supercharge your Marvel's Avengers experience with Intel Core i5, i7, and i9 processors.
I've come to make a name, ready for battle. Cause I got a throne to claim. Think that I'll crumble. I'll show you in the slide. Where you see me coming, better run for cover. Cause I'm not slowing down, I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. So meet the monster, I came to conquer. When all the smoke clears, I'll still be on my feet. Forget all of my fears. Cause I know my destiny. I feel a champion waking inside of me. It's set in motion, the legend's spoken. This is my moment. Can't break my focus, know where I'm going. This is my moment. Where you see me coming, better run for cover. Cause I'm not slowing down, I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. So meet the monster, I came to conquer. When you see me coming, better run for cover. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger.
They're looking at us in audience, keep telling us what we can do, but here we are, showing them, making them wish they were you. We've heard the most when it comes to this, yeah, every shade of blue, but don't even care what they all say. They think we're out of control, yeah, truth be told, we know it, it's just the way we live, we own it, 'cause that we love the thrill, we know it, it's just the way we live, we're grown-up kids. We love the thrill. They're looking at us in
I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I call the shots in the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'ma dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Savage, you've been distracted, your best my average, there's a reason for that's a fact. So they snapping back, mad at the fact that I don't have a backup plan, I ain't need that. Outworking everybody when I relax, so I ain't tripping about none of y'all feedback. Heard that, wonder when I'm gonna peak at. And that's why you count your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Shots in the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'ma dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now.
I fell apart when I saw you look at me that way. It broke my heart to see. It was a moment of darkness, a moment in time that I regret for being so heartless. It was a moment of darkness. Look at me that way. It broke my heart to see. It's too hard, it don't come easy. I went dark, I lost it right away. And when it starts, God knows what I'll say. In my head, I had good reason. I went red so unexpectedly. I should have said that sometimes happens to me. It was a moment of darkness, a moment in time that I regret for being so heartless. It was a moment of darkness.
Face your destiny, slay your enemy, raise a legacy. No more apologies, trust your abilities, gather the energies. Pull yourself back together, been staying off track forever. Child of the nation, will seek redemption, time for salvation. Today is meant to be day of victory, time for history. Reverse a tendency, fight the entropy, channel your rivalry. You're praying for fortune to come, you're hearing the sound of the drums. It's too late to backtrack, but back your back now. Keep your feet on the road and stand up. You've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, out, out. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Go save your team, be a hero. Take home the cup, be a star. They waiting for you, take aim, shoot your arrow. It's your time to shine, show them who you are. Stronger, gotta go faster, gotta get better, gotta work harder. It's fight or flight now, get up now. Go wake the move, go for the goal, lead up the stadium, you know how it's done. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, out, out. Stand up, you've got what it takes.
Intel Extreme Masters is brought to you in part by Intel, Acer Predator, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, DHL, and GGBet.
Alright everyone, welcome back. If you weren't with us before, we just seen victory for North back on train. They were able to pick the victory up on their own map choice, which was a 16-13 scoreline in the end. Sprout not quite able to get themselves back towards that overtime, that second half. It was just sole rounds all the time, Mike. They weren't able to pick up any sort of momentum at all. But we're expecting a lot more from them on this too.
I think it was a factor of two things on train. One, North looked like a very complete team. You had two players who don't always step up.
We've got Robot Mike, by the way.
Oh, do we now?
Yeah.
All right, well, you take it over. Well, I can't turn my cam off during this. So, how bad is it?
It will do. We'll be all right until we hop in game, because we're just about to hop in anyway. So we can last a couple of seconds, I would say. I'm pretty sure we're going live anyway. Yeah, so it should be good to transition us over, and then you can go ahead and get your mic fixed up.
So let me know when I'm not on screen.
Yeah, you're all good now. You're all good now. I brought us in a little bit earlier just so you can get that sorted out. I don't know, that's weird. Seems to happen at the start of each game. Did you restart your CSGO? Because we noticed that was causing it earlier. But yeah, guys, we'll focus back onto the match for now anyway. Mike will be with us in a second. It's ironic, his name is Mike and his mic won't work. But here we go. Mid-rush from the CT side. Instantly reacted to though by Sprout as they start bringing it back over towards B now. And can a hold be put through? Yeah, decent start by Cajun from outside the door. Unfortunately, Gade on the bomb site doesn't actually get any kills, but Cajun is still going. Okay, there's his second Lecro eventually now coming in from behind where AZ is able to get himself a kill, and this has just crumbled for Sprout. It's Favin and Dennis to try and recover, and Dennis is low, so it's Favin to do most of the work if we're being honest, and okay, he's gotten another. Yeah, but just completely encroached in on there between the door and the tunnel players, and then Lecro, fantastic shot on Dennis. Gotta give him that one.
Absolutely. Do I sound beautiful now?
Yeah, we're all good.
Great. Okay. Well, that's a great job from North. Great play from Lekro, and Sprout denied even the bomb plant. It's not going to be a great circumstance for them. So there's not much to work with here. We're going to see a couple deagles broken out, but based on trends before, we're probably not going to see much more from Sprout, and indeed that is going to be the case. I was going to say, before my mic apparently betrayed me, that train was sort of a perfect circumstance of North playing like a very complete team, playing very well indeed, and Sprout missing their one big opportunity in that second half to get something going, and then sort of falling lackluster as a result. You could tell that they regretted losing the forced buy after they'd won their own. And that was really their one opportunity. Past that, everything was just so isolated in victories that they couldn't get any momentum going, and they sort of got overwhelmed quickly. Now, this is interesting. North have given them mid. North are not going to contest mid at all, recognizing perhaps that it's going to be pistols on the other side. They're not too concerned about that, and Sprout don't try and exploit it just yet. The movement will come in, but they just don't have the rain damage. Eagle comes back out. Gade is focused towards mid. MSL gets his bell rung. There's the second as well, and suddenly, this is a round, folks. We're going to have the bomb plant here. Yes, Dennis will get cleaned up, but they've got the bomb down. That's the objective into the round. That's all they really cared about. Now it's a question of how much more damage can we do? How much more blood can we let on this North squad to really ruin their economy? Cajun, he's going to clear out Catwalk. Barely takes any damage as well. He clears the second. He's going to get the third. Cajun, call him the street sweeper because he is sweeping them right into the gutter right now. And the defuse will be on for North. The second round will be there. Still, successful round for Sprout team.
Yeah, being able to, I mean, they had very little investment, so being able to get the bomb down, they'll be feeling quite good about that. It gives them quite a few extra nades as well in this round. Snatchy can get the up with Kevlar, full Kevlar if he wants to, and indeed that's what he's going to go for. So yeah, Sprout, they have a good opportunity now to try and come alive in this first gun round, and that's what you need to see from them. Again, we do heavily favor Sprout here on this too, so in our minds we're expecting a third map to be needed, but it's CSGO. Why we love the game is because, well, things can happen. Crazy stuff happens all of the time, and there is definitely nothing that stops North from being able to go ahead and step up and take the victory here as well. Even if on paper it's not what we are expecting, but let's see. I think we have a game on our hands for sure. That nade not doing too much damage onto Diha, and yeah, not really anything crazy being done by Sprout in the opening moments either. Slowly moving down through the lower tunnels, meeting up from the top mid as well, and we'll probably eventually try and move in for that short control, which is completely open for now. But as I say that, instead want to try and push in through mid. Gade, okay, gets helped out slightly there, but a molly taken away on Favin, which was actually his own Molotov. Yeah, I mean, it made the FAMAS do that extra little bit of, need that little bit less damage, I suppose, rather. So a good advantage.
Such a nice weird off angle that Gade's playing. Boost up on the box, not behind the box, as you see most people playing. If two people swung him there, maybe it's a bit riskier and he probably gets traded, but it's a good way to compensate for having a bit of a lesser gun for Gade. So nicely done there. The ops made its way on towards Catwalk. That means that MSL is going to have a lot of pressure onto him. But he's got control of long. He knows he doesn't need to be worried there. He's got control of mid. Doesn't need to be worried there. Surprised they haven't even brought another player over from B with all this information. And now Gade's going to make his way up Catwalk. That'll trigger the rotation. They know the pressure's on and the hit's going to be coming through. MSL, well, he may not need to do much. He gets overwhelmed, but Gade's already on the flank. And Gade catches all 5 in the round. A 4K on the tail end. And it's an ace for Gade to deny Sprout anything there.
Okay, if we're going to get that Gade, then 2-0 is possible. We have Cajun starting off on 5-1 as well. I'm excited to see if he'll pull out the double op setup if they end up going over towards that, or if it'll be pulled out on towards... it's AZ, right? We've seen pull now out points as the secondary.
Yeah, secondary op on this map is typically AZ. Cajun B was playing it on train, but it's all due to positioning, and typically we've seen AZ picked it up.
Around B and at the back of the platform gives the ability for that one player to kind of solo hold and at least get relatively early info if it's going to be that B hit. But at the moment, just pistols for Sprout, of course, after losing that previous round, so they're in a bit of an awkward spot. Off the back of losing the previous map, of course, they don't want to start off too slowly here. In terms of controlling the game at the moment, North are definitely in that position. Because again, it was 6-1 even at one point back on train for Sprout, and then they never really got any sort of collection of rounds going. It was always just one traded back on each time. Good shot by MSL. There is a player down in that smoke as well, but MSL so far is just doing it all on his own. Yeah, easy pickings. Cajun B going to be there for 1, and his second available as well. He heads up 7-1. 4-0 though. North, they are building up rounds right now.
I like this North as well on Dust 2. I want to highlight
yeah.
it because it goes back to a previous round that they lost. I'm trying to remember who it was against. I think it may have been against Spirit, where
They
it
did
was a
lose to
very
Spirit,
similar
yeah.
situation where MSL, he gets that first pick with the op against an anti-eco, and instead of sticking around for more like he just did there, he fell all the way back towards long because they were so terrified about giving something up to an anti-eco, and they wound up allowing the bomb plant, and I think it may have even been a lost round. I don't recall that exactly. But we see the change up. He's more confident. He's been great with the op so far in this series, today, generally in the tournament as well, and he doesn't allow them even the chance to get started. Just keeps poking back in, catching the player elevator, catching the player dropping down in towards CT, catching the players on catwalk. So they're going to try and keep that rolling here. That version of MSL is a good omen, if you will, for this North squad. Good damage done on the Cajun B. That nade back will probably return some of it, but only just a wee little bit. Controls in towards mid. They're making their way up Xbox. That's a nice nade.
Ooh.
That is not one you see very often. Gate bouncing it over the mid doors to catch 2 players and Snatchy down to half as a result. That was a beautiful piece of utility coming in from Gade.
I guess something we could know is the fact that North for a couple days have known that if they got to this point, it was going to be Sprout that they were facing off against. So there was time to put in preparation for some new stuff on the maps to make sure that they do have a better go around this time. And yeah, I mean, that nade, as you said, was absolutely fantastic.
I think when you're in this kind of a situation where you have to fight your way back from the lower bracket, it's a little myopic, right? You're focused on the team in front.
True.
Getting that through. Because if you don't get them, what does it matter if you take down Sprout? Now, they might have done some prep on Sprout going into the tournament, and they've certainly done some last night, but here it's going to be. AZ gets one. He is traded. Pressure's on in towards the B site. Lekros found the first, but he's the only defender, and he is overwhelmed. So now we have an even number. Never mind. Snatchy takes one towards mid. We have an advantage for Sprout going into the retake, and Snatchy's escaped. If they could have pressured him in towards mid, maybe they could have entertained the thought of the retake. But with him going down, too much value is here to be lost for North. So they're going to go ahead and concede one round over to Sprout. They'll be able to get back into the fight just fine here, Dean. There will be no concerns economically, but North are going to go ahead and pull into the saves. Nicely done for Sprout. The split onto B, it works out. It's effective. It takes some casualties, but they have enough alive. And that insurance policy towards mid for Snatchy, that's the part that makes it so that North doesn't even consider this retake.
Yeah, and I'm good with it. So far as well, they've been pretty fantastic at just calling it when they know that they need to save, cutting their losses, and then just immediately coming back in with the following round. Is what we've seen on Train, and I hope it's not what we're going to see right now, because Sprout do need to start building up a few rounds. This is just 2. This map would be considered a little bit biased over towards that T side, so you definitely don't want to be letting too much go towards North when they're on the CT here. And in general, North, we see better T sides from them than their CT sides. But here we go. The op, of course, is available for MSL again. They have a little bit of money left over, but not a lot, so ideally they do want to try and return with this one, otherwise Sprout have a chance to start building their way back in early on. And yeah, Snatchy did want to try and take that initial long peek, but he was mollied off, and now MSL is waiting for it. He has been just incredible so far throughout this qualifier. So explosive. We should rename him Missile.
Missile? There you go. Gotta add some extra letters in there.
Yeah. Oh, the flash. Oh, it backfires. Okay. I kind of like it. It wasn't really needed since they had the man advantage, but at least Gade comes back in and trades it again. It was adventurous, we'll put it that way.
It was bold. Very bold. Smokes in towards mid, 2 devoted to it, and a Molotov. They really want to make sure they don't get upset here. It's going to be the wrap into B from mid. AZ, the critical piece here. He's going to take a lot of damage, and now the pressure's on. They're trying to get a player back through mid. That's MSL coming through, but they may not be there in time. MSL's been cleaned up as well. They know Lekro's here. Lekro's going to get a Molotov. There's no way to get away. Now it's Gade in the clutch. He's already coming back through tunnels, and knowing Gade, he's going to attempt this, but that will be the bomb down, and now they can take whatever position they'd like. Going to be Favin behind the box, and then tucked on site is Speedy. Gade, he has a smoke. No Molotov to clear an angle, and Speedy's going to be the first player to encounter, but what a shot from Gade. There's the swing from Favin to prevent him from getting too far forward. That man, Gade, is so dangerous. You just can't give him the opportunity, and they do deny it to take a second round, but start to get nervous there, don't you?
Yeah, I was starting to fancy his chances when it came down to the one-on-one, after the ace we seen from him earlier especially. But yeah, wasn't able to get it done in the end. It is clutched out for Sprout just about, but it wasn't a clean round. Fortunately, we do see, of course, North looking at an eco onto 2 of their players. Are they going to go for it? No, they're actually going to come in with a buy. Okay, AZ gets the up, as does MSL. So, yeah, they're going towards that double up setup that we were expecting. We said AZ, of course, pulls it out on this map. Usually plays it towards B around the back of the platform. So that's the adjustment that's being made by North now to hopefully, I guess, counteract the fact that there is 2 players who won't be able to have that firepower. Perhaps then they can leave AZ alone on B and they can risk a little bit of a stack elsewhere. But here we go. We're back into the action. And Sprout. Definitely coming alive now. This is what we need to see from them. They never got going on the D side of Train.
Yeah, you're right. 2 in a row. It's better than they did on Train. It is substantially better. Actually, I think they did get 2 in a row right at the tail end.
Yeah, right towards the end. No, they didn't. Did they?
They didn't?
No, it was slightly before the end. They went down. They went up to 12, right then lost the round to the was it a weaker buy?
I don't know, but let's get into this one. That's going to be a nice pick for AZ. There's the
works.
double up, making its presence felt immediately. That's a heck of a way to get started. Just a quick pop and fade. And now they're on notice. They're like, all right, AZ's got an op. That's not great. We know there's going to be an op playing in towards B, either the window or back of sight. We've seen it before. Probably have a pretty good feel for his presence, but we still got to deal with his hit towards A. They're going to come flashing out. You got Gade in the pit. You got Cajun B as the sacrificial lamb out by Blue Box. He's hoping to take 1 and set up Gade for the trades. Let's see how much utility they're going to devote to it. Snatchy's making his way out on Catwalk. It's going to be Snatchy and MSL. It's a huge duel, though. He's not actually going to make his way out yet. They haven't cleared Boo Blocks. Oh, KJB gets 2. It's not the one and done. It's not the one and trade. It's KJB making it his. Dropping the bomb as well. That smoke won't make a difference. Dika's just trying to back off. 34 seconds. You don't have time to reroute. You don't have time to regroup. They're going to save this? They're giving up the bomb. This is going to be a save, Dean. That's pretty wild. They don't even have good positions for it. Dika is down so low on towards 7. 19 seconds. They can't go for this anymore. Snatchy just wants to keep this off alive. And that is going to be Sprout conceding a 5th round to North and really setting their economy up in tatters.
They at least should be able to hang on to the op there, it looks like. Yeah, they'll be able to hold on to both of the weapons now since D-How was actually able to get that kill around top mid. North don't want to hunt. They take the weapons, they take the upgrades for Cajun and Electro, who came in with the weaker weapons, and yeah, now they're looking pretty once again. They keep both of the ops up in play as well, so they can just buy the nades in behind them. They'll have a fantastic buy here, and we just didn't see Sprout being able to build up any money throughout those 2 rounds that they won. So unfortunately, they don't have a lot to put around those 2 saved weapons. Pistols and Kevlar to get 1 more rifle in play at least, so it's not the worst investment we've seen, but if they lose this one, then they are going to be looking at the eco in the next round, with North very likely heading up 7-2. So what was a good opportunity for them to take control, unfortunately, starting to fall apart a bit. And Cajun, he's opened things up already. He falls straight back also, so that he's going to be ready with his teammate for if anyone does attempt to come out for the trade, and even some good damage being done while Dennis does move out. Caught in the corner, they know he's there now as the smoke goes down. But I think he may be able to cross back. Okay, he's gotten the AK for himself now. This is going to be tough, though. Still 2 players now, even a third in here. That's going to try to flash over. So, yeah, the peaks are ready. They do want to go in for it. They don't want to allow Dennis to escape, I believe. Oh, but he still finds 1. But they keep the man advantage. That's the main thing. And they're making it so costly. They're wasting a lot of time. They know Sprout have put a couple of players towards this area. And, yeah, it's not going too well. Eventually, they are forced to just take their losses and fall back and look for something new.
They're going to take it towards Catwalk. That's going to be the change-up, which means that it's going to be MSL they come up against. They do have some smokes to maybe clear the way, but MSL has been lights out. So if they don't devote utility to this, if they just trust Snatchy to take the dry face, that's not going to work. There's the flashbang. He is blinded up. MSL will fall off the angle as a result, so now Snatchy's retaking it. MSL kind of wants to go back through, but he's going to have it. That's a big play from MSL, and now they know he's here. They're going to smoke him off, but it's too late. It's too little, far too late. Favin's dropped down. Favin is not long for this world. Is he going to really try and save again? No, he's going to take the fight in towards B, and that's not going to be happening. Not today. Not this week. Not even close. MSL, once again, they try and test him. They try and apply pressure to him, and he just comes up big. 2 huge shots. They had already really won the round by that point. They were already in substantial, but he makes absolutely sure it's not going to swing back in Sprout's favor. I am very encouraged by the North that we're seeing here. It's not the form that we've seen from them on Dust 2 before, and it is looking good.
Yeah, looking... Yeah, they're looking crisp at the moment. Everyone is. We're getting a great performance from MSL, and everyone else there with them. Cajun B having a great game. Gade has had an ace already in a couple of big plays elsewhere, so it is just good to see from them. As we said, have been a little bit shaky the other days, dropping Dust 2 yesterday to endpoint. They've dropped it both times, I believe, to endpoint, if I remember correctly.
We're going to have to call it him Carry B in a second here.
Carry B.
He's just doing so well.
Yeah,
He's
we'll see if he
4
keeps it
ahead
up.
of his next closest teammate. No one's exactly lagging
round
behind
9,
too
that's
much
not
on the
bad.
north side. Yeah, he's doing
Oh.
well. He's doing well. There's the shots for AZ. Now he's going to get an opportunity with that secondary up in sight. Here comes the hit, but Lekro gets taken down, so pressure's on for AZ. He's quick to drop that smoke. He is going to be able to collect a second. He can't deny the bomb plant, but Gade is here now. Gade gets traded. Favin down. That rifle found, and that rifle dropped. It's up to Dennis, who will push forward and now actually might have an opportunity here. The Molly's going to go in to threaten AZ, but Cajun B's already gotten out, and once again, Cajun and his strong arms will just carry North through to the victory. Keep them into that last one.
Just marry him,
And
bro.
North are going to get 7.
I kid. Yeah,
What
I
was
mean,
that?
I said just marry him, bro. I was
There you go.
joking. Because you said his strong
You
arms.
seen his arms?
Like what?
If he's playing like that, who can resist?
It's a good thing there's no HR department.
Casts. God,
Yeah.
you know how many casters would get in trouble for making ridiculous statements on air?
Just said crazy things out of nowhere, yeah. 7-2 though. North are continuing on an upwards trend. We do need to see Sprout come back alive. Overall, great damage in that previous round on the bomb plant, obviously, but AZ done a pretty good job to stay alive for so goddamn long and get those kills. And obviously didn't even go down in the end. But we're back into a situation now where Sprout have a chance to start building up a little bit more for themselves. But they need to start making it happen right now. Otherwise, it's going to start looking a little bit desperate as how Train went as well. It didn't go all that great for them apart from those opening rounds, really. And Gade, he gives them an opening. There we go. North again are one man up early on, and Snatchy forced forward by the Molly. Dennis, he doesn't want to go through anymore. He put the smoke down hoping he could get into position, but Gade gets that kill before he can. And now they just again need to concede their losses. They need to try and cut them and look for a new way to reapproach this round. Although Cajun, he's gone very aggressive. The wallbang. I don't know if I love the wallbang battle with an M4 up against the AK. They come out roughly even though. Cajun actually slightly wins it if we want to look at it health-wise. Spitty, oh, it doesn't hit the head. That could have been an opening.
The thing is, he also forces them off the angle. They can't threaten long now. That's what
True.
he does with that aim duel. He puts them low. You can't risk going into longhouse if utility might come in and destroy you. And so he secures this spot for his team. That's even if he doesn't find the kill, he's very confident that they're not going to come back through. He's still going to watch it, but it's just a tough spot for Sprout. Now they're down to only 34 seconds. Trying to make a move. They've got a boost up on catwalk. They've got a player coming through mid. That mid player is gone. Gade has been the Gadian of this site. Speedy gets caught in the air. Gade on 4. He's looking for the ace as well. Again, this would be his second of the game. Oh, he's found the head of Diha. He's going back for it. He wants it. He's got it. Gade, second ace here on
Jesus.
Dust 2. This man is a monster.
Jesus Ace Christ. That was a little bit of a bad pun. And yeah, some people probably won't appreciate it. But Jesus, what? He's got his second ace, man.
Second ace.
We're only on round 11. We haven't even started round 11 yet. Because Sprout are paused on after that one because they need some time to wrap their head around it as well. What is going on in this game? Yeah, this is the best North I've seen. Easily. You're getting Cajun and
They
Gade
hit
both
their final
showing up.
form.
AZ, MSL, and Lekro all contributing on an even level. AZ and Lekro could still wake up at any moment. MSL, if he goes back onto the up, he's been incredibly consistent with that weapon throughout this qualifier. They're looking great. I'm loving what they're showing us right now.
What's interesting is throughout the tournament, we've been sort of looking at them as kind of on shaky form. Where it's like, they haven't been truly stellar in most of their matchups. But I think that our vision might have been tainted by the fact that they just ran up against a very strong Spirit team in the upper semifinals and got knocked down. And then, they had 2-1 series against K23 and Endpoint. But this North, this is the good North. This is everyone on
Give me
point
this
North.
every time.
Is players standing up. I mean, it's just something to watch. And Sprout, clearly a referee. Like, they've not been able to get into this consistently. They're trying a bunch of different things. They're coming back to this catwalk presence, but that means once again, they're going to test MSL's op. Now, this time they've got a ton of smokes, one Molotov, and a billion different flashes to throw for it. But is that going to be enough? Is that enough to set him off, to push him off the angle, to take the space? Because it really hasn't been good so far. He's got the edge of the smoke. They throw one lurk smoke, trying to bait in the response Molotov, response anything, but it doesn't come. So Sprout are going to have to re-smoke this, and now they need to make the move. There's where they're going. They've mollied it off. Here comes the hit, the drop in. Gade's got one, almost the second. But MSL and Lekro are going to pick up where he left off. He was blind, and he still almost got 2 kills, just echolocating them.
Ooh.
Here's the cleanup. MSL taking his share of the killing. 3 for him. 3 for the Opera, the leader. A man who's apparently going to do the killing in this round. And we've got 9 on the board for North on their CT side.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to slow down. This is shocking, honestly. We thought Dust 2 was almost a throwaway. We thought it was pretty much Sprout's confirmed victory. We expected to have to move on towards Vertigo, where we hoped we would have a really close game because it's such a great map for both teams. But no, North, they're like, nah, man, we just want to get it over and done with now. We want that spot in IEM Beijing. Oh, and the nade coming in on Lekro. Can we go ahead and point out that this is Sprout's second chance as well to actually qualify after taking on Spirit the previous day?
Yeah.
And of course falling short, so that would be heartbreaking if they don't make it through.
They're running against a North side that's just decided that they're done with this. They're done with close series. They're done with tight contests. They're just going to dominate. And it's phenomenal to see. I mean, the thing is, all of the players on this team, right, on an individual basis, you've seen them in situations before where you knew they had it in them. It's just this North team as a whole hasn't been able to consistently put it together. And, well, this is certainly a good showing for them. And if they could make that event, if they could make an impact at IEM Beijing, which they're on pace to do, would be a tremendous opportunity to show up as well. And we were talking about it the other day. There were some tweets going around. I know Pimp was tweeting about, when do you pull the plug on this project? And they're saying, hey, not yet.
I had some flashbacks there to those aces.
Of Gade, yeah.
Yeah.
3 players back turned.
Lekro.
It's Lekro's turn.
No idea. He gets 2. He's not going to get the ace, but he's won them the round with that. And even had a bit of help from MSL. D has left alone on long. It's a 2-on-1. I mean, he's not 100% won. There's only 30 seconds, though, and the bomb already is up here on the bomb site. Although the smokes, they do make it a bit easier. But he's not moving for now. He's expecting North to peek ahead of those smokes. Okay, slowly creeping forward. Around past the car, I believe. Will he be expecting Lekro here? Not immediately as he throws the molly out. And yeah, Lekro taking his 3rd kill of the round. All headshots, baby.
There you go. Lekro's turn. I think AZ's next up. He's had one nice 3K from the back of B. But as that B-side player, they just haven't really tested him too much. So he's like, all right, come on. I want my multi-kill. I want another one.
Maybe we get to B-rush now.
Imagine your Sprout, though. You deal with Gade coming up on the flank. You kill him, and you're like, okay, great. Now we can take the site. We lost, 1 there, but it's okay. We can take the site properly. And then Lekro's like, hey, how about that? Right behind you. Another tap on the shoulder. That was just a knockout blow. Sprout couldn't recover. They're going to take a timeout here. This is their 2nd of the map. They need something, anything to take into that second half. 10 rounds have already been won by North. I don't know that Sprout can continue to concede these. I think a force buy might even be on the cards purely because they know they need the numbers. And they are numbers that have been very hard to come by. I will say, Dean, I don't think that catwalk take is working. I'd like to see them go away from it.
The time they don't get aced, they unfortunately get 3K'd by Lekro. So it hasn't been going too well. The flanks have been perfect from North. They've always been in position, so it's not like it's Sprout just failing themselves. It's North to just have the read. They're playing so incredible in terms of individuals, and then I suppose it's MSL probably making a lot of those calls as well. But they're up 10-2 right now, and although this is a buy round right here now for Sprout, apparently it's not that great. I thought we were going to see 1/2 investment and then they'd aim to come back to 4, but I suppose that's not really enough. You do need to try and come through a 5 rounds here on your T-side of Dust 2, and even then, that's still overall pretty abysmal. North are on track for the 2-0 at the moment and on track to head to IEM Beijing. Unless Sprout come back to life right now, and I mean, D-High isn't going to come back to life anyway until the next round because MSL has already taken his head off with an up. We're only seconds into the round, and again, a firm advantage is being claimed by North. Gade, he's going to be tested on mid. He can't get the ace, but maybe a 4K. Oh, he actually catches them off guard. Gets the 1 kill, but escapes with 0 damage done.
There's no easy path to take for Sprout. And that's the reality of what's setting in for them. Cage and B already has the flank. They've just gotten so confident. They just keep going for it, knowing they're buffed from long. So now they can't go back into mid. They can't go forward. They can't go back. Where do they go? Dennis goes straight into the crosshair, and he's dropped. Now it's all on Favin. And while Favin's been good, this is too much to ask. 1v5 with no control, no map presence, nothing to work your way. Yes, he'll take Gade, but that'll be all she wrote with the Galil. It's North. On to 11. Immediately rebuffing the force by not even a bomb plant to speak of for Sprout, so there's nothing to build on going forward. And here's the thing. North are consistently winning that long fight, which pushes them back in towards mid. That's why we've seen so many catwalk takes. But then MSL's being excellent on the takes on catwalk, and they're getting fast flanks for North because they're confident to go for the pushes. Meanwhile, if you go mid, you're testing Gade right now, who's already aced you once, has gotten multi-kills all the time, and has been excellent at playing around those smokes that you're deploying to damage them. So you go into the B site, but B site without mid presence is hard to speak of, and you know there's an op in the back of B, and you've got Lecro here as well. There is no weak piece for North right now, and Sprout are just desperately trying to throw something at the wall and hope it sticks. They might have a chance at the B split again in this round. You can see Gade was playing off of it a little bit more passive into his spawn. If they can get past him, if they can use this utility to give themselves space, here's the pressure. All right, it's going to happen. It's on. Gade trying to collect some damage. He's not able to do so. And here's the kills coming in. Diha has one. AZ from the back of sight. He will take another, but he's not long for this world, and indeed it is. So finally something works. That split is achieved. The bomb's now down. They're going to threaten for it because they've got the buy in the tank. They're not too worried about it. They'll be able to buy next round regardless. But it should be a decent opportunity for Sprout to actually take one. A bit of time whittles off. Kits are available, so no concern for North. Now they come out. Cage and B dropped. Speedy holds the line. That's a gun to reinforce, but it's Gade. Gade coming through. MSL with the deagle. Gade to get more. It's come down to the 1v1. There's no health for Gade, but he's just going to stick it. Snatchy has to come around. Snatchy has to face. He's not doing so. He's going to lose it on time. Gade just sticks it. Pros don't fake. And North. Oh, 3 health was all that divided Gade from the afterlife, and they could not find it.
It was a 2-on-4. What a retake. It comes down to the defuse, and Gade has balls of steel. He's 18-9 right now as well. This is just incredible from North. It doesn't seem like they can lose a round no matter what they do. Someone is able to step up and pull it back for them.
Best stat for Gade, he's got 428 utility damage.
Damn, I didn't even notice that.
156 ADR.
On top of 18 kills.
He has as much utility damage as his whole team put together, and I can't do the math right now, but I think every other player on the server.
Damn. Okay. Either way, the fact that it could be that, or that it's close enough to look like it, that's still pretty telling of how much he's been doing in this game. Yeah, this is phenomenal from Gade, from everyone on North right now, and Sprout, as you said, they just cannot get anything to work. They're ramming their heads repeatedly into a brick wall right now. That's really what this looks like. They get so close on that previous round, but Gade again just shuts them up real quick. That's how it goes.
I think not quite. But it's very, very close. I was just trying to do math on the utility damage. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the last round. Here's the last hit. They are coming up catwalk. They've got some space. They've actually taken down MSL. That's huge. He was a linchpin piece, but now Gade is here. The man who has been their terror. He's the boogeyman, and he's taken 2. Spitty almost with them. They're so low at this point. There's a path to a bomb plant, but Spitty doesn't realize it's clear. Big kill for Dennis. Now he can pressure in on AZ as well. Everything up to AZ. Another clutch attempt. But they've given it to him. They didn't go for the bomb plant. They didn't go for the control. If they pinched on him while he was in CT, maybe they would have had it. 30 seconds on the clock. They want to take this back to B, it seems. And AZ has dropped down. Did they hear him? He's going to catch them. There's one. He's got the second as well. 1 bullet, all that's necessary. AZ with a 1v2 clutch. And Sprout can just get nothing here. They had 2 rounds and nothing more. 11 in a row for North.
It really doesn't seem like North can lose a round. No matter how close Sprout get, no matter how much it looks like it's their round, North are able to recover the situation. And we're going to have to wait and see, guys, if that's going to be the same case or not as we head into the second half. Because we're going to be taking a quick break. We'll be back in just around 3 minutes to see whether North are going to close this out and head on towards Beijing. Or if Sprout can give us a little bit of a fight and start pulling things back.
Out of the shadows, I've come to make a name. Ready for battle, cause I got a thing to claim. Think that I'll crumble, I'll show you a mistake. Where you see me coming, better run for cover, cause I'm not slowing down. I'll still be on my feet, forget all of my fears. Cause I know my destiny, I feel a champion waking inside of me. It's set in motion, the legend's spoken. This is my moment. Can't break my focus, know where I'm going. This is my moment. Where you see me coming, better run for cover. Cause I'm not slowing down, I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. So meet the monster, I came to conquer. When you see me coming, better run for cover. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger.
They're looking at us in audience, keep telling us what we can do, but here we are, showing them, making them wish they were you.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen, and yeah, we just seen a ridiculously strong performance coming in that first half from North. They are 3 rounds right now away from qualifying the IEM Beijing and joining Spirit, who were the first team to make it through. I'm going to be honest, Sprout, they need a miracle. That's what they need right now, Mike, and they're going to try and hold off what is, well, what was looking to be a B-rush. That Molotov completely destroys it. Never mind. So things they've at least been slowed down. They can have a moment to compose themselves, and they'll have 4 players here as the hit starts coming in.
Oh, that's a nice one for Cajun, but the kills are coming back and forth. Here we go. Lekro gets one. That P250 making its presence felt. AZ coming in late as well, so now the whole push is together. Do they realize Favin's gotten out towards car? Perhaps not. May not matter, because Deha gets 2. Favin with the mop-up, and that's well done from Sprout. I like the idea for North. I always like when you're up dominantly in the first half, right? A 13-2. What you do is you go for a fast play. So it's like, okay, they've had the whole halftime break. They've had 3 minutes to stew in how we dominated them in that first. If we just come out the gate as after they've tried to make their adjustments, tried to talk up how it's going to be fine, get the motivation going once again, and we smack them in the face with a B rush, and they immediately lose it. That's all the motivation gone, right? Again, if you're doing your job well, doesn't work out that time, but I do like the idea. Favin's coming up lower. It's going to be another B play here for North, and Favin, he should be able to feast. It's a mow down for Speedy. Speedy does get overwhelmed eventually, but here's the flank. There's the 1, there's the 2. Out of bullets. Sidearm enough for Favin. A 3K there. Can he get to the rifle to retrieve it? No, I don't think so. But still, that's not a lot of damage done. Just 1 FAMAS dropped.
Zarks is saying it hasn't been his POV. I'm not seeing any issues.
Are we onto auto director?
What's
going on here?
I don't know, unless there's something up with the way the GoTV is set up, because we're not really missing any kills.
Well, we'll keep rolling. We'll see what's going on.
I'll ask him. We'll see what's up. We might
know
not
what,
have a lot longer anyway if North come alive in this gun round.
Actually, now that you say it, I bet it is auto director. It's focusing in on players throwing utility that aren't anywhere near towards the site. That's unfortunate, folks. Now you've revealed our secrets over towards the chat. They know now. They know. All right, here's giving the pressure on. Gabe's going to go for the opener. He gets the first shot. There's the second as well for Cajun. There's a bit of a mix-up in towards mid, but this is looking like it's all North all day. Snatchy and Deha are going to have to save on this one. I'm just going to back the hack up, and that's going to be the bomb planted. And North coming on to 14. Well, that's unfortunate for Sprout. They're rebuffed early. They had the 2 rounds off of the pistol. Then the first gun round, they get smacked in the face So North, despite not even really doing much in those pistol rounds, not getting bomb plants that you would normally be open for, now they're on track. They're going to take round 14, and they're only going to need 2 more over the course of this game. Sprout 10 rounds down. And though they'll save here with these 2 guns, I think it's still going to be limited in their buy coming through. They'll only have 1,400 coming in. Dennis will be able to hazard something, but everyone else is going to be very limited. Maybe pistols for Favin and Speedy. Maybe a drop coming in from Diha of Afamas, but that's really the best that you're hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a dreadful position to be in. Yeah, I think we've confirmed with Zarks that for some reason the server just hasn't put him in control. So that's unlucky. We had him on map number 1. He done a great job over there. So shout out to him, just because all of his work this game is going unappreciated and unseen. But North, as you said, 2 to go, and it's not going to be a full buy at all for Sprout. If they lose this one, they'll have an even worse investment coming into the next round. And yeah, it's looking like North are definitely on track now to close this one out quickly and head to Beijing. As the long control comes in, there's one player right now isolated in the pit. It is Diha all alone. What can he do about this? And he actually has a bit of help coming in, but unfortunately the trades do come back and North are able to keep it into the 3-on-3, which is a position they can be happy with having the long control, but they also have no presence elsewhere, and we can see because of that, Spiddy has gotten has pushed fully into the tunnels and knows what's going on. But if he doesn't get here in time and if his teammates don't find success, then that probably won't matter. And yeah, they're struggling to hold down A.
But they absolutely are. I love the way that North isolated the fight in towards pit to make sure that they could get it before they progressed onwards. Instead of just trying to go for the fast drop or something of that nature, they took their time with it and made sure it wasn't going to get out of hands. They're going to even go back out long, seeing if the flank came in from Favin, retaking that space, and then they can go for a split on towards A. They've worked their own player in towards pit. That's Cajun B, just as an AK, not an AWP, but it's still fine. And actually, no, they're not even going for that control. They were just waiting to see if a flank would come in. They're bleeding time, knowing that they have the luxury of it. Speedy will get boosted back up towards site, so that gives them at least a player on the platform itself, as opposed to only down below. Shame he can't pull his teammate up with him. And they're going to take Cat or Sprout. Interesting. Some decent positions. They won't be seen off the jump by North. This will probably allow a bomb plant through to North, but may pose some vulnerabilities. Speedy's coming back to it. Do they check for Catwalk? He's holding anti-flash. There's going to be the first. That's the bomb dropped as well, but now it's all onto Favin with just a deagle. There's no time, though. They need to get the plant. It's been enough. Cajun B has the shot. Cajun B will take the round.
I think you're going to have to give us the commentary for the final round while I take over. Well, no, not necessarily final round, but we're getting there, and I think I have to take over observing because we were just left on a dead body there. It doesn't look like Auto Director wants to work either.
Nah, take it over here, team. Take it over. We've got potentially the last round on our hands. Sprout, look at what they're doing. They're playing with sticks and stones and the mud they found in the courtyard. We've got Famas. Famas is already down. Snatchy's out of it. This is unfortunate. It's all falling apart. Good shot already. Diha wants to push in towards the long doors. He's going to get aggressive with it, trying to catch somebody with his P250. You can't fault him for trying something, anything here. But when this smoke fades, he is going to be down for the count. There's just too many looking his direction, and he won't even take the first. Gade has him. Pressure on. Afamas, at least in Dennis's hands. Never mind. It goes down once more. They just can't keep it alive as the Catwalk presence comes through. That's a bomb plant, all but secured. Favin will try the hero play from Cat. They've got a scout still in towards mid that could provide some pressure through the CT spawn, but this is dire. This is disastrous. Cajun B has to be cleared before they can even think about this rotate, and that won't happen. Cajun B has the last two with 16-4. North taking the 2-0 and making Dust 2 look easy for them. That was a shocker for us. We figured that would be Sprouts every day of the week, and North came out and showed us why we were wrong in our ways. That is such a nice round, such a nice game, such good calling, and such beautiful gunplay coming through from the North players that there was just no chance for Sprout at any point.
I think that's why I'm not an analyst. Why was that word so hard? Because, yeah, I mean, we thought 100% that was going to be Sprout's map. We figured coming into the veto. Oh, sorry, my CSGO sound is still on in the background, so that's probably 9 people on the stream. Get that off with the bomb taken away. But yeah, we had no idea North would be able to do that. Not only just win Dust 2, but to do it in such ridiculously dominant fashion. And to, of course, with that victory now qualify to IEM Beijing. So congratulations, they're able to make it through alongside Spirit, who claimed that first spot a couple of nights back. But for Sprout, rather, that is rather disappointing. They didn't show up at all in this game, and they, of course, barely fell short in their matchup versus Spirit a couple of days back. So they had 2 chances to qualify and weren't able to make it.
Yeah, that is a tough situation, especially when you have the day off to prep for your opponent, to watch what's going on, to maybe bring in a little preparation. I think for Sprout, I'm not going to completely over project here, but there may have been an element of confidence because you knew some of what your opponent wanted to do going in. You'd lost the last go around, but you thought you were preparing. Meanwhile, North were already changing it up and prepping for that Dust 2, ready to do what they were going to do. And it's beautifully done. I also do want to highlight an individual performance here. It's not the guy you usually expect when you look at this North roster. It's Cajun B. He was incredible through the 2 maps. He was a standout player for them. And when he's firing off, when you've got him contributing to the already intense firepower that North brings to the table, that is such a dangerous team to contain. It's just so difficult. I mean, on Dust 2, it was readily apparent that there were no weak links there. Every site was rough. Maybe the B split worked a little bit, but even then, it came at a huge cost. And what a phenomenal showing for the Danish squad. They absolutely deserve their spot in the event, and I'm curious and excited to see what kind of damage they're going to be doing when they get there. They are in IEM Beijing EU.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what both of the teams who made it through this qualifier are able to do, because Spirit were also looking fantastic. So, well deserved to both teams. They fought hard and were able to, of course, take those 2 spots that were on the line, those 2 coveted spots at IEM Beijing. And I'm happy with how this match went down, despite it being so one-sided. We still had some phenomenal plays. It was still an entertaining one to watch from our perspective. We had, how often do you get 2 aces in one map from the same player? For example, Gade going huge, as you said. Cajun B having a fantastic series. MSL just all qualifier being incredibly consistent and having some great rounds here in this series as well. So just well deserved, as you said, for Nord. But that's going to be it from us, guys. We hope you enjoyed. We had a great weekend here. We had lots of CS, and it was action packed, and as I said, I think the 2 teams who qualified definitely deserved what they were able to deliver over the weekend. I just hope that today's North is what we get consistently in the future, because then we definitely have a team on our hands. But we're going to go ahead and send it to the break, guys. As I said, that is it for us. We hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit that follow button, check us out with !caster in the chat, and we hope to see you again.
My name is Trace Saranthus. I am building a PC for Jordan Gilbert.
My goal was really to get something that was no compromise, super powerful, and ideally not built by Trace.
Yes, thank you so much, Jordan Gilbert. You know, we don't make mistakes around here. We made happy accidents.
I got a booster seat here. Enter now for a chance to win one of 3 PCs built by me, Jason, or Trace.
I've come to make a name, ready for battle. Cause I got a thing to claim. Think that I'll crumble. I'll show you in the slide. Where you see me coming, better run for cover. Cause I'm not slowing down, I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. So meet the monster I came to conquer. When all the smoke clears, I'll still be on my feet. Forget all of my fears, cause I know my destiny. I feel a champion waking inside of me. It's in motion, the legend's spoken. This is my moment. Can't break my focus, know where I'm going. This is my moment. Where you see me coming, better run for cover. Cause I'm not slowing down, I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. So meet the monster I came to conquer. When you see me coming, better run for cover. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger.
They're looking at us in audience, keep telling us what we can't do, but here we are.